close to me.
Stay close to me.
Okay, mic is unmuted. Hi, peoples. We're just tidying up. Just tidying up, but just finishing it. Trying to figure out the chat window. See, the stupid the computadora updated though, so we have to go into this thing to deal with the whole. So we just need to figure. I was trying to figure out if she could actually see some of like the other chats separately. It's not working though. Oh well. That's just c'est la vie, c'est la vo, c'est la ho. Sit down.
Okay. Which scene am I on?
You're on face cam, I think. I can't see because I have performance mode on. Let me fix something here. You're live and unmuted and on screen and rubbing your nose. You just picked your nose live on camera.
My nose is my stupid allergies.
That's okay. You're wearing a see-through top. That's okay. But it's not really see-through right now because the light's not bright enough.
Oh, that's a problem.
She was earlier. You missed that stream. That was on the other thing. Told you you could get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She made the kitchen very clean, but she was very dirty while doing it. That is all. Why is everyone cockeyed?
What?
Why is it all cockeyed? Why is my tripod cockeyed?
I don't know.
That's a little better.
Okay. Just enough for Spittle to get a nice view. Okay, there's Twitch open. Let's just get YouTube open. Getting YouTube open. So, how is everybody doing on this lovely Friday evening? I hope you're all doing well. Frickin' apparently Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI have made a Lunchable.
Way too loud in the background.
Oh, is it?
Oh god, yeah, that's just... I know what that is. You see, I want it that loud for the, I want that loud for the other stuff, but certainly not for...
You had to send feet pics and fake money for that to access that stream. Oh. Just... That's funny. Hello there, Spittlebuggies. Hello, Okie Native. Better now that you're on. Oh, thank you, Spittlebuggies. That's very kind of you. Oh, let's close. There we go.
Try to not let the echo happen, but...
Okay, there we go.
It's a little too low now.
So... yeah, apparently Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI have made themselves a Lunchable that is pretty much exactly like Lunchables and is like 30 calories less than a Lunchable. And they've basically copied literally copied the Lunchable. And they have to put their pizza, like the Lunchly pizza, they have to put quotation marks around the word pizza. So it's like they stole Lunchables and just put Lee at the end instead of a bowl. And a Feastables instead of a Kit Kat. And a Feastables instead of a Kit Kat, and a Prime Energy instead of a Capri Sun. And it's like nobody in their right mind is gonna pay for that shit. Nobody in their right mind is going to pay for a damn Lunchable. Ugh. All Canadian money is fake. Well, I do.
You don't get hepatitis for our money,
right? At least our money, when we touch it, doesn't make us go, ooh.
Oh my god, okay. I'm walking in to tell the story. So, as a lot of the viewers know, I spent my high school life in California. Another part of that was working at swap meets. Now, for those of you that don't know what a swap meet is, on the East Coast, they're called flea markets or dirt malls. If you remember Mall Rats, the dirt mall. That was a swap meet, also known as a flea market. Well, the ones I did were in California. Ugh, dirty place. For one. Two, it was paper cash only, and it was ham radio operators. And you think we have basement dwellers now? Oh my god! You should have seen ham radio operators. Holy fuck! Like, these are guys who never left their house. And yeah, one of them in particular, you guys all know, the cat man. He's a perfect example of one of those people. Sorry, Dennis, I know you're dead, but hey. You know, freaks like that. But so one of the big things we got was, we would start at like 7 a.m. with our sales, but like my hands, like you see my hands, how dirty it is here and here, right? Well, think of all of this just being black from touching, just simply touching your dirty ass American money for that entire day. It stunk. It was nasty. You never wanted to touch your face. You felt this. You felt like there was 10 pounds of dirt on your fingertips by the end of the day. Oh my god. Like, I'm glad we kind of switched to the plastic money now, because every time I look at American money when my mom sends it up, I cringe and go, ugh, because I know she got that money. I know that money she sent me came from a dirty swap meet person. Dirty! And she's in Sacramento right now, too.
But, yeah, so this is a 3-person collab for this feastable, lunchable thing. Sorry, I'm just throwing up the link for the stream goal here. And I'm gonna pin it up in the top of the chat. There we go. So yeah, they've got this weird ass Lunchable that I bet you is gonna turn out to be just as like salty and not good for you as a Lunchable is. And it's probably gonna be like either the same price or more than a Lunchable. In fact, let's quickly Google how much a Lunchly is. Lunchly price. Not now. Let's see. How much are they going to charge? Lunchly pizza. Notify me when available. How much? Are you going to tell us? Unit price. Yes, I want to know. I want to know what the unit price is. Ah, fuck it. It's not telling me and I don't want to click on any links. But it's ridiculous. All it's going to be is a cash grab for kids to yell at their moms. I want a Lunchly, wah, wah, wah. YouTube should stop paying you in US money and pay you in local currency and no adjustment to the US dollar. Ow. Why? I just wish the US sites would convert on ordering. Yeah, see, if the US should pay me in local currency, then I should be able to pay them in local currency. I should be able to pay their price. If they're gonna pay me in my price, then I should be able to pay them in theirs. None of this having to pay extra shit. That's not fair. It shouldn't go only one way. I don't think that's how that should work at all.
I love that. Pinkalo. Okay, native. Well, if you didn't live in the frozen shithole of Hoth, you could have CA sites that sell the stuff you want. I love that phrase. Have the best Canadian is where I heard it.
The frozen shithole of Hoth. What fucking Canadian said
I got
that?
a fucking gripe. I got a gripe.
What
How
dumbass?
about,
Sorry.
How about a gripe? I got a gripe. How about Streamlabs and all of these fucking sites, okay? And their bullshit of, oh, you want to order that item? Well, sure, but you gotta pay twice as much in shipping. Okay? That's some bullshit. Because why? Like, previously, I could go to, like Minuteman Press and shit, and they would have it contracted. But over the last couple of years, like when COVID hit for some reason, they killed the contracts in Canada. So I get all my shit in, it's Honduran fucking cotton from fucking North Carolina that takes 6 to 8 weeks and costs me $150 in shipping. It's bullshit.
And what dumbass Canadian called it the frozen shithole of Hoth when it's a fucking humid ass swamp for like 6 months out of the year? What the fuck? That sounds like somebody from Toronto said that. Or maybe somebody from fucking Winnipeg or something.
Okay, native. Of course, it will be bad. Pinkalo the driving it. Okay, native. Well, if you didn't live okay, native. Have the best Canadian. He has a YouTube channel. But okay, native. It stands for Arduino versus Evil. New live chat pinned message.
The best Canadian? Oh, okay. Well, I disagree. I think that's a silly comparison. Antarctica is more like the shitty frozen land of Hoth.
Yeah, I'd say someone more like Edmonton or Northern, right?
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a fun night. I hope you guys are ready to get into some fun videos. And I hope you guys are...
No. They're not wrong. No.
What?
No. Because there's a lot of places, like, you walk just outside the city limits, okay? Here, little town limits, okay? Here, tell you what, I'll drive you to a field, okay, come January, and I'll plop you in the middle of one of these fields, okay? And you can tell me if you don't feel like you're on fucking Hoth. Because it does. It's a frozen wasteland of Hoth.
The hell? What was I saying? Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are ready to get into some fun. Sounds, let's see, what was I was gonna say? We've got our first video, and of course this stream is all about toxic women. All about toxic women. So let's dive right into it. And of course, this stream is brought to you by you, so if you feel so compelled, please jump into that link in the pinned comment and make me do jumping jacks. Here we go. The woman who leaked toxic fumes from her body. Let's do it.
Hundreds of years of scientific study, we think we have a pretty good handle on the human body and how it works. But do we, truly? In the strange case of Gloria Ramirez, doctors have taken their best guesses. But this case remains a singularly horrifying, unexplainable medical mystery. One that will make you second guess the next time you have an ache or pain.
I don't know if I've ever heard of this case. Let's see.
So, today we're putting under the microscope the disturbing illness of Gloria Ramirez, a woman who laid waste to an entire medical staff with internal toxic fumes. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that, leave a comment and let us know what other medical curiosities
I think there was another channel that I watched that covered her, but I can't remember.
you want to hear about. All right, time to give WebMD a workout. More than usual. In February 1994, Gloria Ramirez was rushed to a hospital in Riverside, California, with unexpected complications from late-stage cervical cancer.
Oh. That is, unfortunate.
She had been diligently battling with the disease, but her health was decaying, and she was slowly succumbing to both it and the ravages of time. Little did her attending doctors and nurses know that cervical cancer was not the only darkness following Ramirez. She was afflicted with something even more otherworldly. She was a human toxicity bomb. And
Oh! Well, that's, scary.
not in the fun system of a down way. Not knowing anything was amiss, her doctors followed the usual by-the-book approach to giving care to the ailing. However, after some basic treatment and blood work, a strange
What time of month was she toxic? The narrator for this also does the weird history of food. You can tell when he doesn't do the video because it has half the views. Oh, I don't blame him. I don't blame them.
odor emerged from the spot on her body where the syringe had pricked her. Initially thinking
An
nothing
odor.
of it, the medical staff carried on nonchalantly until the hospital staff began getting sick, fast, and not in the fun thrash metal Slayer way.
Not in the fun thrash metal Slayer way.
Outbreaks of an unknown disease, or something like a disease at any rate, spread throughout the hospital. Bizarre symptoms, coughing fits, and loss of consciousness moved through the ward like wildfire.
Jesus Christ. So the staff is like passing out and unable to breathe and shit? Okay.
Before anyone knew what was happening, 23 people were experiencing symptoms. Some of these diligent healthcare workers ended up requiring weeks of hospitalization. What
Jesus.
exactly caused these issues? Well, put simply, Gloria Ramirez. When she checked into that Riverside hospital, she was essentially a smallpox blanket, or the Velveteen Rabbit, which is a book you used to have to read in school. The only difference was
never
no one
had to read the Velveteen Rabbit. That is one I never got. I never read.
Velveteen Rabbit, which is a book you used to have to read in school. The only difference was no one could say for sure what was afflicting her. Her status as a typhoid Mary was all but certain, but the disease she was carrying was utterly unknown.
That's terrifying. Like, you have to treat this patient, but she's making you guys sick as you try to treat her, and nobody knows what's wrong with her. That's freaking terrifying.
So less typhoid Mary, more not sure Gloria, which is a less catchy nickname. For months, newspapers were fascinated by the story of a woman who contaminated an entire hospital wing. Today, there's still a lot of speculation surrounding the Gloria Ramirez case, but the cause of her symptoms have so far eluded medical science. Gloria Ramirez was taken to the emergency room in Riverside, California on February 19, 1994, with advanced cervical cancer.
Another photographer in Brazil this time told my blind NSF WBDSM friend to look at the camera and give her bedroom eyes, this time in terrible Portuguese. Okay, that's funny.
Cancer. Ramirez was disoriented, short of breath, and had a rapid heartbeat. She also displayed unusual symptoms not typically associated with cervical cancer. She had oily skin and a fruity garlic-like odor coming from her mouth.
Weird. Fruity and garlicky at the same time. I wonder what caused that.
When a nurse injected her with an IV to draw blood, the smell of ammonia filled the room.
Oh,
Wonder
God.
how many of those doctors thought they were in the first act of a zombie movie.
No shit. Like, could you imagine putting a needle in somebody's skin and then ammonia scent comes out? That's just...
Most? All? Shortly after a nurse drew blood from Ramirez, those in the emergency room began experiencing unusual symptoms themselves. The nurse who drew the blood collapsed near the door of the ER and said she felt a burning sensation in her face.
Oh, good. A burning sensation in the face. That is just, you know, something that everybody loves to have happen to them.
Medical resident also collapsed and experienced shakiness and shortness of breath. Other medical professionals attending to Ramirez experienced similar symptoms. A respiratory therapist fainted and lost control of her limbs.
Oh, God.
Several other staff members began getting sick as well, and an internal emergency was declared at the hospital. All emergency room patients were quickly evacuated to prevent the illness from spreading further.
That is terrifying. You have an entire emergency department evacuated because a patient
Well, TBF, she needs to learn to look at the camera. But
is
Locative, unfortunate. But
what's it called? The patient is making people sick. And
If only
she's there
Zach
to
Braff
get
had been
treated.
around to contextualize these symptoms in a pat
Well, to be
voiceover
fair,
set to the
she needs to
fray.
look at the
We
camera.
can only dream.
That's funny.
One of the most widely accepted theories about the event centers around Ramirez's cancer medications and how they may have led to chain reactions resulting in poisonous gas. It's theorized that
Interesting.
Ramirez was using the drug dimethyl sulfoxide, or DMSO, which
Dimethyl sulfoxide. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
that Ramirez was using the drug dimethyl sulfoxide, or DMSO, which sounds like a dance pop song by Chapel Roan, to treat
By
a
who?
foxide, or DMSO, which sounds like a dance pop song by Chapel Roan, to
I feel like I feel too young for that reference.
treat a variety of aches and pains related to her cancer. This is because dimethyl sulfone was found in her system, which is the metabolized form of DMSO.
Okay.
The DMSO may have metabolized when paramedics administered oxygen, so technically, it's all their fault if this explanation is true.
But how would it be? I don't know if anybody can really be blamed for anything. Like if they didn't understand what they don't understand what is going on, and they're just trying to give her life-saving treatment.
But even so, the paramedics couldn't have known to do anything different.
Right.
According to the theory, when Ramirez's blood was drawn in the emergency room, its temperature dropped sharply.
Oh.
This caused the dimethyl sulfone to convert to the deadly chemical compound dimethyl sulfate, which was then released into the air. The symptoms the exposed people experienced, such as shortness of breath, are common signs of dimethyl sulfate poisoning.
Interesting. We're learning. We're doing a chemistry lesson here, everybody.
Not everyone buys the hypothesis that dimethyl sulfoxide somehow converted into dimethyl sulfate, resulting in the staff being poisoned. Several organic chemists expressed skepticism after this theory was made public, claiming
Okay.
the step-by-step chemical reactions presented seemed unlikely. Other scientists have pointed out it usually takes hours for dimethyl sulfate poisoning victims to show symptoms, with most experiencing tearing up in the eyes. Ramirez's medical staff experienced symptoms instantly, and
Yeah, they basically, as soon as they started administering treatment, they basically just dropped over on the floor.
none of them had the watery eyes typically associated with the poisoning. Medical professionals at Riverside General Hospital tried everything to help Gloria Ramirez. They strictly adhered to cervical cancer treatment methods. Valium, midazolam, and Ativan were used to sedate the patient, and other drugs, like lidocaine, were used to steady her heart. The staff gave Ramirez oxygen with an ambubag, but still her condition only worsened. As a final attempt to help the woman, electricity was used to defibrillate her heart. Cushioned electrodes were stuck to her, but the method failed. Her body began to produce these strange toxins that affected everyone else. Sadly, Gloria Ramirez did not survive long after entering the ER. Her blood
that's
pressure continued to
unfortunate.
drop while her pulse faded. Despite medical staff administering electric shocks and drugs, Ramirez passed away at 8:50 that evening. She had been in the ER for less than an hour before she died.
Oh, That's really sad. And it's also really scary that, like, no matter what they did to treat her, they were also being affected.
Some online sleuths have taken it upon themselves to evaluate the mystery surrounding Ramirez's condition. Some have suggested some of Ramirez's symptoms sound similar to arsenic poisoning, and that arsenic is known to emit a garlic-like scent. Amateur internet detectives theorize Ramirez may have been self-medicating or seeing a shady doctor for quack treatments.
That is a possibility. There are a lot of shady doctors that prey upon cancer patients who are tired of, like, the chemotherapy and the radiation treatments, and they just want something that won't hurt.
Involving dangerous chemicals. And if there's one thing we know about people on the internet, it's that they are always right. The aftermath of Ramirez's visit to the ER left 23 out of the 37 staff members experiencing at least one symptom of poisoning.
Jesus.
Luckily, most people's symptoms were minimal. However, some staff members required extra care. Nurse Sally Bolderas had to be hospitalized for 10 days due to sleep apnea. But
Holy shit! How do you randomly get sleep apnea from taking care of a patient?
medical resident Julie Gorchinsky was the most severely damaged. She remained hospitalized for 2 weeks with hepatitis, pancreatitis,
Wow.
and a condition that caused bone tissue to deteriorate. Yikes. She was restricted to crutches for months in the aftermath of the Ramirez incident. In other words, whatever the toxin released by Ramirez, it was quite potent. Due to the unexplained poisoning that occurred, Ramirez's autopsy was conducted very carefully to avoid further illness spreading. Pathologists wore moon suits to carry out the autopsy
No
and worked in a
shit.
sealed chamber. Like that
I don't blame them. You've got nothing. You can't deal with the body without getting incredibly ill. What are you supposed to do? Like, holy shit.
Fox special, Alien Autopsy. The autopsy took 90 minutes, during which time blood and tissue samples, as well as air from Ramirez's body bag, were taken for examination.
Wow. It's like a complete hazmat autopsy.
Gloria Ramirez's illness and death created a media frenzy. The
I
Riverside
bet.
General Hospital that tried to revive her was featured in countless news stories, and the staff members mysteriously afflicted by her bodily fumes became tragic heroes. People in
course they
California
did.
and the country as a whole began to fear for their own safety. Many TV stations exploited the fear of airborne diseases, and
Of course, because, even back in the 90s, this is why when people act like social media is the beginning and end of viral exploitative content, it's like, no, it's been happening for a while.
ran endless programs about Ramirez's death. Ramirez's family and friends were unhappy with the media attention her death
I
received
bet they
and
were.
suspected the hospital, not Ramirez, was responsible for the deadly release of gas, which is admittedly a reasonable explanation.
Yeah.
The Reverend at her funeral openly blamed the hospital for Ramirez's untimely death.
Oh, shit. That is shots fired. That is incredibly, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Explosive.
He also condemned the county for not sharing the results of the investigation of Ramirez's death with her family. In fact, Ramirez's body was not released for an independent autopsy for 2 months. By then, it
Jesus.
was badly decomposed. Her
To
heart was
think?
missing, and several organs had been contaminated. This made it impossible to determine an official cause of death. Ramirez died in February
that's
1994.
not at all suspicious. Like, come on, how can you not? You're a hospital with, I'm sure, a working mortuary. Let's see. Here I go.
Here you go.
¿Qué es eso? Tea?
Yeah.
Or coffee? Thank you. Coffee! Coffee. Okie native. Well, your friend does not seem like she's had a very good time with directors. That is very unfortunate.
Atom action new live chat. Italo the driving it moderator. See, that's not cool. But
Oh, I'm not on the correct window.
Her heart was missing, and several organs had been contaminated. This made it impossible to determine an official cause of death. Ramirez died in February 1994, but her body was not released for burial until April of that year.
Oh, Jesus. That's not okay. Like, I understand you need to determine cause of death, but 4 months? No.
She was laid to rest in an unmarked grave in Olivewood Memorial Park in Riverside, California. Ultimately, no one will ever know what truly happened with Ramirez's body,
They probably did an unmarked grave so people would leave it alone.
or what strange cocktail of medicines and chemicals could have yielded this completely unheard of medical outcome, if indeed the toxic fumes were released by her body. Given the time that has passed and the lack of interest from the general public all these years later, a definitive solution and conclusion is highly unlikely. The only thing that can be said for sure is that the circumstances that yielded these tragic results seemed so specific that they're unlikely to occur again. Not
Yeah. For people to get like freaked out and, oh my god, this could happen to me. No, there's no way. Like, this seems incredibly unrepeatable.
with any regularity anyway. Hopefully, doctors will one day piece together what brew of coincidence and bad luck caused this mysterious affliction to spread like wildfire in the spring of 1994.
That is scary.
So what do you think? Will we ever truly get to the bottom of the Gloria Ramirez case? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
It doesn't happen to her often. It's just hilarious when it does. Oh, dude, do you have no idea? There are some times when, like, when I'm dealing with people who don't understand that I can't see at all. Like, I remember one time when I did swimming lessons, and I kept having to tell my teacher, you can't like just lead the class away. Like, you have to like help me go wherever you're going. And I just kept being abandoned at the one side of the pool, and everybody else would just be leaving, and I just or the people who would say, look at me, and I would, and then they'd be like, open your eyes. So I'd open my eyes, and they'd go wider. So I'd be like this, and they'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you told me to open my eyes really wide. I still can't see you. I don't know what you want me to do. I guarantee the hospital was trying to keep her body for research purposes. Probably. You're probably right. Oh my god! Last year, she did a shoot and the photographer used real film and lots of heroin. After the first roll, he forgot to reload the camera. Oh my god, what the fuck? That is hilarious, but also not very good at all for the photographer's business. But fuck me, that's funny. Oh my god. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, that is too funny. Okay. Oh. Oh my god! Seriously? Not sure if it has worked, but it is shelled. Thank you, Spittle Buggies. You're awesome. Okay, we're gonna stand up and do a stretch, because ow. So, I called my doctor this morning and apparently I already have an appointment set up, and I'm like, well, it would have been nice for you guys to call me because your portal is inaccessible, and the receptionist is like, oh, ha, ha. Because I don't think they understand what that, like, I've tried to tell them my screen reader does not work with the portal. They're just like, I don't think they get it. I really don't think they get it. Okay. Let's go to our next video. The Hawk Tour podcast is terrible. There's actually a Hawk Tour podcast. Lord Almighty. I can't believe that's actually a thing. Like I said, toxic women, right? Have you tried doing these streams in an inflatable hot tub that wouldn't violate terms of service and would probably get more viewers? Well, I would, but how would I use my computer and shit in the hot tub? I mean, it would be great for my back. I could sit in a hot tub and play Mortal Kombat. I don't know. Fuck. Besides, I don't have the money for an inflatable hot tub. Ow!
Spittlebug is moderator. We need a punitive. She's not even toxic, which makes it funnier. Button. New live chat.
She's not even toxic, which makes it funnier. I don't know. I don't know if she's pretty gross. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look.
The Native Americans and the Pilgrims had a fun dinner.
Didn't they have a turkey too?
No, definitely not.
That gets fucking viewership, and I don't?
Well, guys, Hawk Tua. Those two words are something that I've been trying to avoid talking about for the last few months, but recent events have made it basically impossible for me to continue to do that. Yeah, she made a podcast. Now, if none of the words I just said make any sense to you, then I don't even really know where to begin. If you're unfamiliar with the Hawk Tua girl, as she's commonly referred to, welcome to the internet.
Obviously, the random hands that appear would handle the technical side.
First video you've ever watched on the World Wide Web, but basically, the Hawk Tua girl, aka Haley Welch, is a young woman who recently got famous for a street interview she gave, where she talked about a method of sucking a man's penis in which she spits on it, or Hawk Tuas.
Which is gross. That was just, ugh. Just to hear it.
On that thing. Now, if you're like me, you might be wondering, why did that make somebody into a millionaire famous person? And honestly, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm with you, August. I'm with you. I don't understand how the fuck that makes her famous and rich.
My running theory is that it's because kids these days are really into stupid little phrases that they are somehow able to take and change its meaning entirely. Think about the gyats and the goofy ahs, stuff like that. I feel like Hawk Tua kind of fits into that. Kids like saying stupid shit these days, but that's nothing new. I feel like Hawk Tua just really managed to resonate with the youth.
But that's the thing, like, I know that when I was a kid, I liked stupid shit. Okay? Every kid likes stupid shit, right? But at least the stupid shit we liked had fucking substance to it. It was stupid, but it was substantively stupid. This is just stupid.
You couple that with a lot of executive corporate types not really understanding virality, and then you've got the Hawk Tua girl invited to be like the keynote speaker for shit, with six-figure payments being direct deposited to her bank account to, I don't...
So, the x-ray results came back. I'm actually gonna quickly grab my Tylenol and my muscle relaxant. The x-ray results came back. I actually do have mild degeneration in my spine, or like in my lower back. and I have borderline hip dysplasia. So my doctor is sending me to some pain management shark, going, here, have a cortisone shot, really wouldn't do anything because my hips are fucked. So now I need to talk to her about a referral to an ortho. So yay. But yeah, I do need heat on it on it for muscle stuff, but need to figure that out. Oh, that's hot. Whew. Hot, hot, hot.
I don't know. Talk about spitting on dicks, I guess. I don't really know what she does. All I know is that she's been showing up a lot of places that really make no sense for her to show up at. Whatever it is she's doing, though, it's working for her because she's based.
That is true. That is very true, Okie Native. Do some fire cupping with a trained professional. I thought cupping was for like to get shit out of your lungs
Basically
and
become
shit
a
like
household
that.
name over these last few months, and just like anybody who gets famous in a very short amount of time, she's made a podcast. And,
course she has.
well, how do I put this nicely? You can tell that she's only been famous for a couple of months, and that she got famous for the reasons that she did. It's been said a million times before, not everybody needs a podcast. Somebody who has literally nothing to talk about other than the fact that they made a funny comment during a street interview is one of those people. But that's
Yep.
not going to stop us from watching it because it is really, really bad, and you need to see that, okay? So let's...
Are you sure, August? Are you sure we need to see it? Because I'm pretty sure that I'm good not seeing it.
Let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting. Haley, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk. So I wanted to start my podcast out here in Belfast, Tennessee, where I was born at and where I've been ever since until a few weeks ago when everything changed. No, really, I even learned that you can't bring a box cutter on a plane.
Okay, so
Wow,
this is how the
okay.
podcast starts. Not doing any fancy editing here to make this look worse than it is. This
This is really how it starts? That's really, really how it starts? Oh my god, that's insane. That is absolutely horrible.
This is the intro, and I think it's really funny that she decided to include the fact that she didn't know you can't take a box cutter onto an airplane,
how can
out
you
of all
not know
things.
that?
Like, she could have said anything here, right? But she chose to go with that, and this podcast episode was uploaded on September 10th. Now,
Oh! That is bad timing. That is like the second worst day to upload that podcast. Only followed by the next day, following September 10th. That is, holy shit. That is awful. That is absolutely awful.
Now, after this, the first few minutes of the podcast is basically what you'd expect. Introducing the guest, introducing the host, stuff like that. Now, as I'm sure you've assumed, we're going to be jumping around a lot. We're not going to be watching the entire thing, unfortunately. It is almost an hour long, but we are going to watch part of the first thing they talked about,
okay,
which
okay,
they've
Nita.
chaptered Rewriting History. You'll see why.
I hate it.
Keep in mind, most Hollywood celebrities have less intelligence than this young lady. You're not wrong.
Did history in school, and I was just...
Well, what's
The
the
whole
point of
time.
memorizing any history? Because we've now learned that none of it was true.
Yeah, that seems like a bit of an oversimplification, but sure.
Yeah.
I learned that the Native Americans and the Pilgrims had a fun dinner.
That's what I got from
I
it.
learned that they put on their best shoes with buckles and their best hat, and they all sat down and shared maize. They had corn, and they had a cornucopia, and it went great. And now
Didn't they have a turkey too?
Okay. So for some reason,
This is their idea of sarcasm. This is their idea of sarcasm. I guess when they're talking about rewriting history and everything, I think I understand what they're trying to go for, but it's just coming off really bad.
This stood out to me. Me and Haley, or the Hawk Tua girl, I don't know what she likes to be referred to as. I'm gonna say Haley for the rest of the video. We're the same age. I'm 3 months older than Haley. We are both 22 years old, and this is just complete bullshit, right? Anybody else my age here to back me up? I can't speak on behalf of Whitney. She's 42. I don't know what went on in the 20 years between us, but maybe it has something to do with the fact that she says she hates history, so maybe she wasn't paying attention. But I definitely did not get the whole, oh yeah, the Native Americans and the colonizers, yeah, they were really good buddies. And I'm from the South. Surely, there is not a chance in hell that there is a modern curriculum left in the United States that is still trying to pretend like we were super friendly to the Native Americans, right?
Yeah, even when I was a kid, like, we were not doing the whole, like maybe in kindergarten we did, but like as we got older we learned about like the stuff that happened, like
right.
Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1962.
1492.
Okay, he didn't teach me very fucking much.
I think the most history.
1960.
1490.
Right.
Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1962.
1492.
Okay, he didn't teach me very fucking much.
I think the most history until now has kind of been gossip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of just like, you know what I mean?
Well, like I feel like if I won a battle, I'd be like, not only am I going to tell this story, but I'm also going to say like my opponent was like fat and stupid. Like, you know.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is a podcast that is existing. That gets lots of views, that isn't done in a hot tub, this is a thing. This is a conversation that's actually being filmed and uploaded.
You know, I'm going to add insult to it too.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's not here to set the record straight.
Right, there was no way. I mean, it's
won.
like people are like, what if ChatGPT like photoshops photos? It's like we had paintings before where the king was telling them what to paint. I mean, that was probably worse than Photoshop.
Yeah, I'd be right.
Like Mona Lisa.
What the what? This is... I'm, Spittlebuggies. They never taught us that, by the way. She's dumber than expected. I'm still trying to figure out how Whitney Cummings became famous, and then I remembered that she openly admits to being a whore. True. Very true.
Okay, I need to ask you guys this sincerely. Do you think this is a bit? Like, is this a character or something?
No.
Is she sort of playing up the whole simple southerner thing or what? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but listen to the words that these people are saying. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1962, and a king told somebody to paint the Mona Lisa for history. Like, what?
So,
yeah, I don't... This has to be... you know what? I'm going to change my answer. This has to be a bit. This has to be a bit. I have to believe that people are not willfully this dumb.
You've had Jake Paul. You've had... I don't know what order you're going to do these in, but you've had Jake Paul on?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes. So far.
Jake's pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk to.
Really?
That's like a man, you know.
Yeah.
That is not like a little soft boy, you know. It's easy to talk to. That's a whole man right there.
Yeah.
So I was like...
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little ass girl over here talking to this grown man. I was like, what the fuck can I talk to?
Wait. Are you just talking size comparison, or do you think that you're still like a child? Hello? Hold on. Let me mute. Okay.
Talk to him about, you know?
Haley, you are 5 years younger than Jake
Jake
Paul.
Paul,
What's
right?
with the weird infantilization?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows it. That's what I got respect for him for that.
I like that.
Like, I
like
can
that.
be an asshole too.
And he's comfortable.
Just imagine a world where the TV show Punk'd didn't exist. We wouldn't have to suffer through the show Two Broke Girls, which she created. She is from Tennessee, so it might be true. That is true.
Full
Spittle.
controversy.
He's
okay with it.
I
very
mean,
comfortable
Cinema
with that.
Sins
Yeah, we're
is
like
also
4
from
minutes in, and
Tennessee,
we're
he's
already
not very
endorsing
smart.
Jake Paul just because he's a fucking douchebag. This is my new favorite podcast, guys. I've never understood this logic, and I've heard it be used a surprising amount of times. Yeah, that guy's a fucking dick. Nobody wants to be around him. Nobody really likes him. But you know what? He knows that about himself, so he gets my thumbs up. Very strange thing to promote.
So because you know something, because you know you're a dick and you don't care, you're somebody's new favorite person. Wow. Okay.
Just imagine if Chelsea said Hawk Tua and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
I would not have dealt with it as good as you did.
Can we hear you say it?
She don't give a fuck. It's her problem.
Let's just hear you
she
say
does
it.
not give a single fuck.
One more time?
I can't do it as good as
Do
Haley.
it.
You do it.
No, you do it.
Hot to.
There you go.
You gotta put.
Ew. Oh, really?
Like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hot to.
Hot tuh.
Hot to.
Say it.
Oh, this is riveting, you guys. This is riveting content that we're watching here.
Aggressive, like
Hot
really.
to.
Like you're mad at the day. You're mad at it.
Hot to.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first heard about this podcast, this is honestly what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be sort of like Hot Ones, at least spiritually, in a way, where anybody who
Women are
comes onto the
fickle more now
podcast
than
has to
ever.
go
They
through this
are.
like Hawk Tua gauntlet. You got to prove you can Hawk Tua with the best of them. So I'm glad to see that they took my idea. Is this entertaining for people? Like, am I just miserable? You know, I ask that question a lot in my videos. Maybe I should go talk to somebody, but like...
No, August. You're not miserable. This is not entertaining. This is horrifyingly stupid.
Seriously, is this funny to others? Am I the issue? Please let me know.
Have you ever had to shit at a man's house?
Yeah, I just shit. I don't even try to hide it.
Okay.
Real,
But we
real
got
shit.
it. We got it. We got the soundbite.
Yeah.
It's gonna make her as famous as Haley.
This is... Streamlabs.com/blindpress. I need alcohol.
Holy shit!
It sits too. Why am I
We have a
hiding?
sign called Shitting with
I
Chelsea.
didn't even try to hide it. I'm in.
She's hot to spit on that thing. I'm hot
It's
to
a shit on that thing.
Let's get her a hat that says shit on
Shit on
that thing.
that thing.
Okay, maybe not.
Shit
do
on
that.
that thing. That respect.
Oh my god.
Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Like, god damn! Fuck!
Gee, why don't people like women podcasters?
This...
It's insufferable, isn't it?
Ugh. Oh god. Fucking... Fuck.
I never knew 30 seconds of a video could make me feel physically ill. By the
Me
way,
neither.
we've skipped like 25 minutes of the podcast. I'm sorry, but they were just talking about getting drunk and then like vaginal wigs. I don't know what's
What
a
the
joke and what's
fuck?
not, but I had to show you guys the shit on that thing segment followed up by a dab. And look, I know I said that made me feel physically ill, but really, if we're being honest, I can't think of a more appropriate podcast for somebody to whip out a dab. It feels right.
Oh yeah, Haley's
It's
first flight
sick.
ever, Whitney, by the way. Her first flight she ever went on was like 3 weeks ago now, maybe a month ago.
You
and
never-
That's it.
So you had never flown before you went viral.
No, and everything in my damn like carry on
She
It got
brought a knife.
confiscated, but actually, it was 2 knives, and they got confiscated.
You
brought
brought
knives to the airport.
knives? Okay, I've never flown either. Okay? I know not to bring knives. I know not to bring fucking knives, and I've never stepped foot in an airport.
Oh.
Actually, that's not true. I have stepped foot in an airport, but not on a plane.
See, remember how I told you I caught wind of this podcast and I caught a clip?
Yeah.
You know how you were just talking about vaginal wigs?
Yeah.
That's the conversation I stumbled into. She's talking about how they don't want to encourage PDFs, so they no longer take care of that. Yeah, you can go from there and take it exactly as you would think with the Joker music in the back to prove my point.
Fucking Streamlabs, please, people. Fuck. Holy shit. My brain. I need to be drunk tomorrow for this shit.
Yeah.
You got a little girl going out here somewhere she's never been, unarmed. You lost your fucking mind.
You brought weapons into TSA
I did.
in 2024.
He's like, ma'am, what's this? And I was like, oh.
Okay, why are we going back to this little girl stuff? Look, I have no problem with somebody being armed. You best believe I'm not leaving the house if I'm not strapped, but I feel like everybody...
Hey! Mr. Self-Destruction, what's up, my friend?
knows that you
I'm gonna
don't
have
take
to
that kind of
cleanse
stuff to the airports,
after this
right?
whole
Like,
video fucking list is done. I'm gonna have to start a whole new stream just to do fucking story mode and shit.
I feel like that's a universal thing. Obviously, there are ways that you can legally take guns and knives into an airport, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I don't think I've ever met a person in my entire life, whether they've flown or not, who thinks you can just walk onto a plane with a knife. Now, we've been jumping around a lot, but I promise you haven't missed anything important. I kind of let this play in the background while I was doing something else, just to really get the full experience, and some of the shit I heard, I don't even know how it fits into the conversation. I'm like 99% sure I heard something about Hailey Bieber's cum at one point.
What the fuck? That's not a phrase I ever wanted to hear.
Not sure where that slots in here, but I think we've seen enough. Is this podcast
Yes, we
bad?
have.
Yes. Should it exist? Absolutely not. But I mean, at the end of the day, can't you say that about most podcasts, really? As a guy whose only exposure to podcasts has been the ones I've talked about on this channel, which are famously bad, I feel like I'm pretty qualified to make that statement. Well, guys, what do you think? Is Talk Tua gonna go down in the history books as one
Talk Tua?
I've talked about on this channel, which are famously bad? I feel like I'm pretty qualified to make that statement. Well, guys, what do you think? Is Talk Tua gonna go down in the history books as one of, if not the most important piece of media of our time? I'm thinking maybe. Unfortunately for Hailey, I can't imagine this lasting too long. To be fair, I've said that for like the last 2 months, but tricking boomers into thinking you're an actual celebrity and maintaining an audience for a podcast, those are two very different things. I think these first few episodes will get a lot of views just because of the novelty, but once that wears off, I think
I'll buy a big bottle, but you have to watch the whole podcast. Yes. I will watch the entire podcast if you buy a big bottle.
the reality of the situation will start to present itself. Not hoping for that, not wishing for it. Don't get me wrong. I hope Miss Hawk Tua has all the success in the world. I just don't see it happening. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
That was horrifying, August. Why did you do that to me? Oh my god. That was horrible. That was absolutely terrible. I don't ever want that. Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. Okay. That was awful. Holy shit, we've been live for an hour already. Okay. They are getting trashed for this. Who is they and what is this? And who are we watching? Ah. Oompa. Okay. Oh, let's see. What other toxic shit are we going to see? Let's see here. Oh, I need to switch to the live scene again.
Stop!
Of the fucking dogs again. Oh. Something just went kabling. Oh, you cheered some biddies. Yes, if you guys cheer bits on Twitch, Twitch will cheer bits too for the rest of September, I believe.
Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul are releasing Lunchly, a Lunchables competitor. It will feature a Prime and Feastables, and it's got obviously KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. B, who's been in
I love the fucking fart noises. That's too funny. Sparky! The Bombay Sapphire is looking good, but now it's just to look at. I'm sad. I don't like gin. I really don't like gin.
and embroiled in some really wild stuff lately. Some like really crazy stuff that I'm really excited to see just be done. I'm really looking forward to the end of all that stuff. Oh my God, I hate drama so fucking much, bro. But this is the biggest drama. Slow news day, I guess. People are very upset that Lunchly has been released. It's a product. It's fucking... This is really poorly made, by the way. I'm just now realizing that this is all photoshopped in. This is like AI or something. You can see it's all edited and these are fake. It's actually really funny. Yeah, so, you know, first instinct as an adult man, which is not who this is marketed to, I don't really care. This isn't something I would ever eat. It looks like slop. I'm an adult. I'm not gonna eat that. This is marketed to children though. Adults, I assume, are not the target audience. Kids already eat a lot of really shitty food. Like, that's the reality. There's a lot of terrible stuff. There's a lot of candies that exist out there. There's a lot of...
That's true. There's so much shit that kids eat that I ate when I was a kid, like the Dunkaroos, Pixie Sticks, fucking, what is it? What, Fun Dip? That's another one. Eye Poppers gum. The candy cigarettes. That shit, yeah. All of that shit.
A lot of things that pretend to be healthy but aren't. But like, let's be real. Kids aren't eating healthy, and it's not the kids' fault. It's their parents, schools, all that shit. It's up to the fucking individual, obviously. People are really upset by Logan Paul, KSI, all these guys coming together. Plain Rock 124 said, "We'll make kids more." I've always said a healthy lunch consists of Prime, Feastables, and variation of food. This lunch...
Yeah, I don't ever want my kids drinking Prime. I'm sorry. That is just not something, like, some of their friends drink Prime, and I'm just like, nope, not happening, nope.
This lunch has it made for brains, not taste. Wow, more subpar, cheaply made shit with YouTuber branding on it. So, you know, people are rightfully mad.
And
YouTubers...
the Feastables chocolate bar is garbage too, by the way.
These guys love making money. They love it. I hope it's better than Lunchables. I don't really fucking know. But massive YouTuber Dan TDM came out and said, "What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money simple. How does this benefit their fans?
Yeah, this is literally just, I know what my fans will buy. They'll buy this. This isn't something that their fans need or anything like that. It's candy cigarettes were based. That package. Wait. Why did my speed get... Holy shit. Fuck, I've snorted pixie sticks. You like the candy cigarettes? Do you remember the licorice pipes and cigars? My friends just did cocaine like normal kids. Candy cigarettes taste weird now. I never ate candy cigarettes. I never ever ate cigarettes. The candy cigarettes. I never ate cigarettes either. That would be gross. But hey, okay.
This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better. Now, there's a lot of ways to interpret this. Yes, of course. Selling things generally is to make money, especially when it comes to anybody with a child audience, which we all acknowledge that Logan Paul especially, there's not an adult man who's like, dude, I fucking love Logan Paul, dude.
No. I don't know any adult anywhere that's like, yeah, Logan Paul is great, man.
See the way he ran shirtless across in the WWE? Did you see that? He was so sweaty and talented. He flew through the air like an angel. And nobody's like, I love how he's suing CoffeeZilla for his crypto scam that he did. Nobody's saying that, really, to be honest. No adults, at least. I think most of the people who love them are just children who don't know any better, which is completely reasonable. That's his audience. He knows his audience really well. Dan TDM, longtime Minecraft YouTuber. In fact, he's probably best known for a video that he made in 2013 where he reviewed a mod called Brewcraft. You guys may have heard of it. The mod was made by a guy from Virginia. Pretty cool little mod. Interesting stuff. I assume he went on to do great, incredible things, but Dan is mad. He's mad that YouTubers are making money. I will say this is a little bit hypocritical. I'm on Dan's side. I love criticizing YouTubers. It's awesome. I think it's super important too. Like, YouTubers kind of give a bad name to everything just in general, and it's a shame that
we all did. It was called, oh god. Sucker pipes were always sticky. I never had sucker pipes. All I had was the licorice pipes.
Am quite literally a YouTuber. They're the most like privileged group of people that has ever existed in time. But I mean, he sold all sorts of merch and shirts and stuff like that. Like, there's no benefit in that. Like, you can't sell a fucking, what are those things, U2s? I'm sure he's had a U2s. You can't sell those and pretend like that's benefiting anyone other than a short-term gratification of some kind of collectible whatever. Like, there's nothing wrong with people making shit and selling it as long as they're honest and sort of upfront about it. A lot of people agree with Dan. A lot of people just hate YouTubers. I sympathize with it. I totally get it 100%. This is definitely not a healthy thing. This is going to be a net negative. Like,
Yeah, no, there's nothing healthy about this Lunchly thing, this prepackaged thing with a Feastables and a Prime. There's nothing.
Be real as well. It's going to be an absolute net negative, but the business of selling things and making products isn't exactly an ethical business at the beginning or end of the day. I wouldn't think. I don't think Logan Paul is actually going out there and developing the recipe for Lunchly and fucking like, none of these guys have any actual real experience in food products.
Absolutely not. I doubt they had anything to do with their development in the recipes of their previous stuff either. I think that they just wanted to create a thing with their name on it and figured out a company that can help them, like, to help them make that.
Aside from just marketing them and making a lot of money off of them. They're parts of parts that are all parts of a whole. There's not that many examples of small businesses in the food production space. And
why we all chain smoked through our 30s. Hey, some of us quit in our 20s.
Just general YouTube merch space, which makes sense because the majority of the audience that buy shit are fucking little tiny children who don't know any better. Feel however you want about that ethically, I've got to say. Dan, I think he's completely right. They are absolutely selling crap to kids that don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. But
they just want it because it's got Mr. Beast and Logan Paul and KSI on it. They don't care. Like, they don't want it for any other reason.
I think that if that's the argument, then a lot of YouTubers are completely guilty of that. Like, anybody who's ever sold merch ever and hasn't like donated all the profit to some kind of good cause or like, it's a rabbit hole. right? But I get his point. I absolutely 110% get his point, and I love Dan TDM. I think he's awesome. I think he means well, but Logan Paul does not like Dan TDM, and he had a really interesting response to... And check this out. A really interesting response to this. It's really interesting. I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. That's a great response, right? Like, okay, he's being honest. He doesn't give a shit. You know.
That is an honest response, I guess. But like, still, it's kind of a shitty thing to say.
Food products, whatever it is. I'm doing my best, man. I don't want to be a YouTuber forever. I want to get naked with men in WWE or whatever the fuck he wants to do, and also sell this to children. That's what he wants to do. That's fine. Making money.
Let's see. Logan is getting kids addicted to his trash, so in 10 years he can get kids on his first diabetes machine. That's true. I'm too old and talentless to make real money on YouTube.
Money is definitely a really important thing in this world, in this life, absolutely. But then he goes on to say, you don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset, then don't eat it.
A better version. Show us how it's better. Show us the nutritional facts. Do you actually have them?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is like embarrassing. This guy's selling food products. He's attached his name to a food product, multiple food products.
Yes.
And he doesn't know anything about making food products, which is, I figured he might know a little something. You know, maybe take a course. If you're getting into something, you might as well get into it, right?
You think you just maybe you make some effort to learn about food.
He seems like the kind of guy who commits to the bit. He's doing great at the WWE thing, great scamming people, etc., and crypto and all that stuff. Like the first part, pretty good response. He's standing on business, as the kids say. But the second part,
I have come to the conclusion that no one without a media connection IRL makes it very far anymore. You're very true. Almost every viral creator the last 3 years have turned out to be industry plants. Facts.
So let's look at this. Let's see what can of worms has just been opened up by Logan Paul. Oh my God. This fucking made me mad. When I first saw it, I was like, this guy's an idiot. I already did have a great distaste for this man. Great distaste for this guy. But by God, I try to be as rational and reasonable as I possibly can and non-biased. A lot of people forgive and forget. Oh my God. Whatever the Bible says. He posted this as a response. The main part that I'm focusing on is you don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead. Firstly, Lunchables does contain lead. And
a lot of people did say things.
Guess what? Lunchly also does contain lead. There is not a chance in the world that Lunchly or Lunchables or Feastables, they all contain lead. Yes, everything contains lead, but it's measured in parts per billion. It's a little bit of lead, and it's not good. I'm not saying it should be normal and good, but it's normal.
It's not, yeah, it's normal. It's not like it's not like Flint, Michigan levels of lead.
Not a good way to say your product is better than the other product, because both products for sure contain lead, dumbass. Then he goes on to post this part. Consumer Reports urges USDA to remove Lunchables from National School Lunch Program, which I agree with that 100%. Oh yeah, also let's not forget the community note. Look at all these different notices.
Let's also have not a national school food program. How about that?
This is just a normal thing in the food business. This is normal. There's lead in everything. Being this guy here is not good. CRR tests find Lunchables and similar lunch kits contain relatively high levels of lead, cadmium, and sodium. All but one contain harmful phthalates. Okay, Consumer Reports, very reputable. They do a lot of testing. They do a lot of awesome shit like this. They're badass. They're based. They're red pilled. They're keeping people regulated. They're keeping the rules. They're keeping the wheels on. That's good. We got to, in the 20th century, lead was a genuine, massive problem.
It was. It very much was. Leaded gasoline, leaded paint, like all sorts of things. Lead was a huge problem. A humongous problem. And so for Logan Paul to be like, oh yeah, well at least my food doesn't have lead when it still does. Like, come on.
And because of regulations, because of Consumer Reports, because of the FDA, it's become less of a problem. Still a problem, and it's important for like watchdogs and stuff like that to come out and continuously hold people to higher standards, educate people about the mitigation of lead. But the important thing is, the ironic thing is you look up what makes up a Lunchly, and just one example. Let's see. Feastables lead content. This is a Consumer Report article, the same source that Logan pointed to. Okay, so 36% of the CR's recommended levels. Lunchables had 75% or whatever. Okay, so half the amount of lead. Still, that's lead. How about cadmium? How much cadmium did Lunchables have? Because this has 80%. That's a lot. That's more than Hershey's. That's more than Lindt. Lindt has 11%. You're promoting.
That's a lot of cadmium. Holy shit. No wonder your chocolate bars taste like garbage.
A product that is relatively high in lead. Now, it's important to note, this is all relatively meaningless, okay? This is very important to acknowledge this is relatively meaningless. Only in Logan Paul's stupid, small, idiot argument world is any of this at all relevant. Yep. Everything has lead in it. Once again, I have to make that very clear. So this isn't bad. This is fine. This is normal. But this is actually better when it comes to lead. This has nothing to do with health or nutrition. Logan Paul is conflating nutritional profiles with lead content.
Yeah, that's not at all how that works. Like, you can have something be, like, you can have a salad with like a lot of really good vegetables and ingredients in it, and then poison a bottle of salad dressing with lead and drizzle the shit all over the salad and make it lead contaminated salad, and it'll still be really nutritious, but it'll have fucking lead all over it. You dumb motherfucker.
Which is so misleading and so dumb. The Lunchables contained 74% of California's maximum allowable amount of lead per day, which I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's 100 parts per billion. I think that's what it is. 0.1 part per million. That's how they measure lead content in food products. It's not like micrograms or milligrams per kilogram or whatever. It's the easiest way to...
There's two types of lead, heavy and suspended. Yes.
Do it is to do parts per billion. So they're at like, say, between 65 and 75 parts per billion. Maybe there's a bit of hypocrisy here from the defense. All right, guys? Maybe he's calling out hypocrisy with hypocrisy. This is kind of a really embarrassing moment, though. A part of one of the tested parts of the product that you're selling has almost as much lead as the Lunchable, which you are claiming your version is better for you. Then what the fuck does that even mean? I don't even fucking have any idea. But hey, guess what? Everything has lead in it. If you weren't aware, I don't know if you guys know about lead. Lead's bad, but it's also everywhere, and it is really important to mitigate lead exposure, especially to children. There's a lot of drama surrounding drama. There's a lot of worry surrounding.
Yes, it's drama. There's a lot of drama surrounding lead in like water pipes and shit. Yeah.
Surrounding baby foods and lead. Some baby foods have been found to contain very unsafe levels of lead, and lead is much worse for children. Their bodies cannot be rid of it as effectively as adults. Plus, they're small. So like 100 parts per billion for a tiny 15-pound baby is way more than 100 parts per billion for a big 150-pound stud like me. All right? 160 pounds, it's rock solid doink. Shut up, dumbass. I'm just kidding. Lay down. So, lead.
Those fucking dogs. Poor Oompa. He's always dealing with those dogs. Oh, that's too funny.
It's still definitely a problem, and you should try to mitigate it all the time. But pretending like this is some kind of slam dunk gotcha is so embarrassingly stupid. Coming from a person who is in the food industry actively, like I have a candy company. I made the recipe for the candy myself.
Oh, that's cool.
We researched it and we did it and we sent it to professionals, got feedback, and through a year and a half of trial and error, got something really good. And like,
so he actually did the research and like learned how to make candy and made a recipe.
I'm aware of the process, but at the very least, it would be nice to know a little bit. It would be nice to care a little bit. This is so stupid. This is troglodytic, guys. This is actually troglodytic. You didn't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when you create a better version, you're upset. Don't eat it. For one, what?
For one, lots of people were upset when Lunchables was found to have lead in it. They were very upset. And people said a lot of things.
Why would he talk about Lunchables? It's not tied to YouTubers. Also, if you were saying...
Yep. And mute. Hold on. Just a moment, guys. If... Sorry, I had children saying goodnight. I had children saying goodnight to me. Okay.
Saying that your version doesn't contain lead, you are just wrong and even more dumb than I thought. Better for... Maybe it is better. Maybe it is better. It's probably got less sugar because it's got Prime instead of like a Capri Sun or whatever
lead is what is in paint, batteries, and sometimes food, and suspended lead is literally everywhere. Yeah, suspended lead is like... Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend to know about like lead and chemistry.
Nonsense
and shit.
is in a Lunchable normally. Nobody is arguing that any of this stuff is good. This is based and red pilled. Of course, we should get the USDA to remove Lunchables from the National School Lunch Program. What the f? You're telling me tax money is going to feeding children Lunchables?
No shit. And I bet you that's what our fucking government wants to do, is a fucking Lunchable and a fucking Nutri-Grain bar or some shit like that. Just like bare minimum food.
What? Of course it is. Of course it is. This is so insane to me. This is such a dumb, complicated thing.
And Lunchables don't even fill you up. Like, Lunchables are a part of a lunch. Like, anytime Lunchables go on sale and the kids like beg us to get them, I give them Lunchables and then like all the other snacks that they would usually get with their sandwich, because a Lunchable is basically the same food content as a fucking sandwich with a chocolate bar next to it. There's no, like, it's not filling.
That is f***ing hilarious, dude. It reminds me of Diddy's freak-off supplies, to be honest. But that lead statement is so... I don't even know. It's just f***ing dumb. It really is so stupid. Your product... by the way, first off, Lunchables does contain lead. It doesn't allegedly contain lead. It's not like people are putting lead in stuff. That's like some kind of conspiracy.
Munchkins,
It's in the earth.
yeah.
Everything on the periodic table in front of lead turns into lead.
$30 plus import bullshit, or $30 for 5 packs of Sour Boys. Is that what it is for Sour Boys? Because I kind of want to try their candy. I really want to try their candy.
Into lead, eventually. And that stuff's everywhere, kind of. And a part per billion, I don't know if you know how big a billion is, but that's not very much.
No.
So, like, you rub your finger on the ground and you eat a little bit of dirt, probably gonna get a few part per billion lead, to be honest. Let's see, actually, percent of the earth is lead. So my argument, by the way, is that Logan Paul, for one, is an idiot and he shouldn't be saying this type of stuff. You shouldn't be saying the lead argument. The argument should be like, of course, don't eat it. You teach your kids about healthy food. Use this as...
Yeah, teach your kids that eating like things like vegetables and fruit. This is something that I'm having trouble with the youngest, because he won't fucking eat fruits and vegetables. I'll try to give him some. I'll be like, look at this yummy carrot. And he's like, no, it's ew. Anyway.
This is a moderation snack. He's obviously not going to do that because he cares only about money. But like,
of course.
what? It's so dumb from every single existing aspect. I do like how people are holding people accountable though and trying to get people to make better products. I do really appreciate that. That's pretty cool. But okay, so according to scientific data, lead makes up only about 0.0013% of the Earth's crust. So the Earth is 13,000 parts per billion lead. So the Earth is more parts per billion lead than Lunchables.
Damn, double the cost because of import cost. Yep. Fucking import cost.
I assume most of the stuff that makes up a Lunchables comes from the Earth. So we're fighting a losing battle, all right? If anything we're eating comes from the Earth's crust at some point or is in the Earth in some way, seems like there's probably gonna be some lead on it. Let's take, for example, maybe sweet potatoes, lead content. They have definitely got lead in them. And guess what? They're way healthier. I'd rather, you know, if I didn't know anything about lead or the internet, I would probably, and I cared specifically about health and I wanted to make a healthy decision for my child, I'd think that feeding my child a sweet potato would be better than a Lunchable. But it seems like even sweet potatoes have lead in it.
I
Oh
don't
my
like
God,
sweet
dude, it's
potatoes,
almost like
but
everything
they
has
are
lead in
much
it.
better for you than a fucking Lunchable. I'm just...
And like, this is just a basic fact of human life that you should learn and not be this guy gotchaing YouTubers and just making yourself look like a fool, bro.
Oh my God, for Logan Paul to be just like, at least there's not as much lead in this as Lunchables, and therefore it's healthy. Like, oh God.
For everybody making money, especially honestly. If Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul come together and make this awesome brand, and it really is healthier, because let's be real, it is definitely, let's see, he probably has some kind of information on the health aspects of it. Okay, yeah, so Lunchly versus Lunchables, it is objectively healthier. It's a modicum, but it is definitely better. So it's a net negative still because it's a shit product, but also it's a little bit better than the existing ones.
That's
and
like saying my chicken hot dogs are healthier than your beef hot dogs because my chicken hot dogs have less floor meat than yours do. There's still floor meat in it, though, you asshole!
And it's probably going to flip that market a little bit. Plus, there's electrolytes. They're so healthy. This is so funny and annoying to me. Oh my God, bro. Curtis said good macros. That's 12 grams of sugar. This is much better. If I had to choose, I would choose this over this one for my child. But at the end of the day, too, my God, if I had a child, I don't think I would ever feed them any product a YouTuber's selling, for one.
Get the lead out. I can't. It's everywhere. Right?
Unless it's my product, of course. Oh my God, bro. It's so frustrating. So that's pretty embarrassing and also very epic. I love it. I love being embroiled in the YouTube drama war. Holy fucking shit. I get why people are mad and they just hate Logan Paul. They hate Mr. Beast now as well. Like, I don't want to see people just like failing. And there's a lot of jobs and stuff that these people give. I mean, it's pretty cool, right? It's good. There's some good to it, obviously. But like at the same time, you know, the criticism is pretty fucking valid. And then your defense, the lead defense is one of the most mind-numbing defenses that I've ever seen, especially coming from someone who actually is in the food business. And Logan Paul gave the defense of his microplastics in Prime, which I also agree with him. He actually gave a reasonable defense for that. I think he's suing somebody over that. That's perfectly reasonable. That's the opposite of what he just did.
It really is. It's I can't believe that he's this. Actually, I can't believe that he's this stupid. He's done very stupid things quite often. And it's just, to me, it's just insane. Insanity. I was trying to say insane and insanity at the same time. But it's just craziness that he's making this argument. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go to the bathroom and then we're gonna come back and watch some more videos. So I'm gonna mute and I shall return. And if you are able to, can pop into the pinned chat and hit up that link and see if the animations worked for the Streamlabs, because my computer updated and I don't know if everything is still working. So yeah, I will be right back. Okay. We are back. And we are going to switch now to our, oh god, the adult baby problem. That sounds fucking terrifying. Is that something I really want to click on? 50 pieces per pack of candy. Oh wow, that's not bad. How much are the packs of candy? $6 a pack?
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down.
This is gonna be bad, isn't it? This is gonna be bad. I'm scared.
Let me tell you something. There's nothing like being babied. A nice meal, a nice diaper, people giving you tummy time so your head doesn't get all alien-like. It's the purest time in your life. Gotta love being a baby. But when does it go too far? Everybody has to grow up, right? You think people can just do babies? Remember that movie Baby's Day Out? You think you could do that
No.
forever? You think as an adult?
I don't remember that movie. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Going into a gorilla pen, the gorilla's gonna be nice to you forever? No. But when I was perusing the internet, I found something horrifying. People who have a fetish with being babies.
I associate most with being 2 years old.
No! Hunter, why? Why, Hunter?
What the fuck? I stumbled across a video called My Girlfriend Lives as a Toddler. What does that even mean? Lives like a toddler? My main editor, Nick, he has One Piece statues all over his room. Does he live like a toddler?
Oh, God.
So I had to inquire on this subject. What exactly does this mean? Grown adults pretending to be babies or toddlers is a new fetish that I didn't know existed until I stumbled across this. And before I get into all this and I show you some of the chaos that I stumbled upon, I just want to go over the lexicon of toddler baby terms that we might be hearing in some of these videos.
Do we have to do this?
For the lexicon of toddler baby terms that we might be hearing in some of these videos. ABDL and Abdul.
Adult baby diaper.
I don't know if anybody terms that we might be hearing in some of these videos. ABDL and Abdul. I don't know if anybody actually says that. Is an adult baby / diaper lover.
That's it. Adult baby diaper wearer.
Right? I mean, it's...
Or adult baby diaper lover.
Yeah, who doesn't like that, right? ABDLs are adults who enjoy role-playing as babies or toddlers. This can involve wearing diapers, using baby bottles, or engaging in other baby-like behavior.
Yeah, like, seriously, like being in a crib and shit like that. I saw some of this and had to stop. Oh, God. It was a funny movie. It was a funny movie when I was 10, then I watched it as an adult. LMAO, you will all suffer. Oh, God.
Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, they need to bring tummy time back. Tummy time sounds too good to not be an adult term. I'm telling you. I need some tummy time all the time. Some ABDLs are more focused on the diapers themselves, diaper lovers, or DLs. And may not engage in other form of age play. Age regression are adults who enjoy role-playing as younger age, not necessarily as babies. So that you're not, you know, we talk about toddlers, and we're not just talking about babies because, you know, people get fixated on the diaper thing, and you're like, oh, well, only babies wear that. Let's think about, like, maybe when you're in first grade and there was a kid who wore diapers because he pissed himself all the time. That's the kid who pissed himself until he was like 9 years old. That happens. That's a toddler. So some of this stuff, it isn't just babies. We're talking about toddlers, little kids. And the age regression thing scares me a little bit, if I'm being honest. The diaper stuff, I can get down with diapers.
Nope.
If you like diapers, that's fine, but the age regression thing, I don't know.
Nope.
But let's keep moving on. Then we have the next
No diapers, no age regression, no fucking... None of that shit.
one, which is little middle. What's up, little middle? These are terms used within the BDSM community. I knew I was going to get there. These are terms used within the BDSM community to describe those who role play as a younger age, typically ranging from toddler to teenager.
No.
The partner of a little might be referred to as daddy. What's up,
Ew, no, gross.
or mommy. Though these terms don't necessarily imply a biological or familial relationship, but rather a
still
dynamic of
fucking
care and
disgusting.
authority. Next one is age play. This is a broader category that encompasses all forms of role playing as a different age, whether younger or older. It doesn't have to involve a sexual component for some. It's purely about the role play and the dynamic. The D&D!
Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I seriously call bullshit on that.
Age play is like a little bit of D&D. Is your dick hard sometimes? Is your pussy wet sometimes? No. Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
That's very important as we walk into this first video, which headphones please. Thank you, Goblin. So as we go into our first video here, this is a classic little middle relationship.
In the words of Peter Pan, I never want to grow up.
You know it's bad if you're like mid-20s and you're still quoting Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be doing that. That's not no.
I think I vaguely remember at 9 watching Hook and just being like, just grow up.
Yeah.
Like I don't, just grow up.
Can I put it on the fridge?
Ew.
Just
That's
grow
her
up.
voice for when she's doing her play.
Can I put it on the fridge?
I don't want to be around anymore.
She's.
Where's the asteroid? Where's the asteroid?
Sitting in a bed with a binky, and he's reading, the little is reading to the middle. See, I'm being very respectful. Peppa Pig. It just, at what point do we just think that we've failed? We have failed.
See, there's a difference between being a kid at heart and this. The Disney/ABDL crossover has got to be fucking massive. Oh, for sure. For sure.
We have failed. There's no way you turn this off, right? That'd be so
No.
weird. Because even if you try to turn it off during the day, I wonder if you'd like sneak into the back of the your work. You're just like, all right, Mrs. Donovan, we've set up this Roth IRA for you. Can't wait to have you start making money, and it's just gonna be something that kind of builds up over time. Excuse me for 1 second. She goes in the back office, and she's just like,
Oh my god.
it's like you can't turn it off. Like it would be so weird to just be like, and I'm home, baby. Time. It would bleed into your regular life too
Yep.
much. I'm telling you.
It would. There's no way you could not have it happen. At least by accident once or twice during the day.
My name is Max, and I'm 20, but not really, because I'm 5.
Ew, no, fuck. And did you hear that scoff from the fucking partner?
Max, and I'm 20, but not really, because I'm 5.
Did you hear that?
My name is Johnny, and I'm 31.
Gross, 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 gross. Gross, 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 gross. I'm with you.
What am I doing with my life?
He takes care of me, but I also take care of him. We take care of each other.
Ow.
Kiss. I love you. Can I have some milk instead of water? God.
Hearing that chick, right, and then seeing what she looks like, right? We have had a few women in our lives who I think fall into this category.
Yep.
I can think of 3 off the
Yep.
top of my head. Can you?
Yep.
One of them recently.
You think?
I'm not fully, but pretty close in that aspect, just in some of the stories from the past. I mean, like, this is a couple years back, right? That's what I'm talking about. So, we'll talk more about it offline, so that way we don't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I can say at least, like, back in the raving days, I knew a couple. And then when we came back up here, like, milk bags. Remember her? I could put her in there.
Pill stealer.
Definitely.
Pill stealer for sure.
Got it. It's heavy. Anytime that I want a story, he'll read it to me.
I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one. Oh boy.
Hey, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, you get titties anytime you want, LMAO. You're bad.
I think I'd make a cute baby, dude.
Yes. Everybody needs a bottle in the morning.
No!
But since babies can't drink coffee, I have my juice.
I'm just picturing me standing in my room. I wake up, Dad. I look up and then fucking this is standing there. That would be fucking intense. Holy shit. I went into this video being like, I went into this whole thing being like, oh my God, I was perplexed by it. But then I hear him sitting there talking about Legos and he's like, if you don't like it, you can, take it, build something new with it. You can break it apart and build something new. And I'm like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It does sound relaxing. Why the fuck wouldn't I want to do that?
Right? Like, but you can play with Legos as an adult. You don't have to pretend to. You don't have to pretend to be a baby.
Hold on, pause. The guy he's talking about, where he says this thing.
Yeah.
Remember roommate number 1 on at the house? First roommate smelled bad.
You mean yeah?
The one that thought he was a biker.
The one that threw the freaking mouse
Yes,
at
it's
the
the one
door?
that thought he was a biker.
Yeah.
Okay. Picture him in a onesie.
Ah! Fuck my life! Fucking somebody test the animations. I need alcohol. Somebody please. Where am I here?
That sounds great. Then there's Nico, Mom and Dad, and this is all about adult diapers. And this is when I think we're getting into something here. All the thumbnails are just her and these diapers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is sexual, right?
Yes.
This is the 18 plus channel, yeah. Yeah, they're all very provocative. This is whenever I'm like, this is going too
This
far.
is very
Now you're
sexual.
sexualizing wanting to and you look like a toddler. It just
Is it? I'm gonna say something that is probably not gonna be looked at very well. But your wife gives you Legos every year for Christmas and I'm 47. Hey, my dad is 55 and he spent $300 on Legos in the summer. No, $400 on Legos because he got himself the Indiana Jones. He got himself an Indiana Jones thing and then he got himself something else. Yeah, my dad is like a giant child when it comes to shit like that. He has a giant, he's got the Star Wars stuff, he's got the comic books shit. My dad's a big kid when it comes to shit like that.
It's too much for me. And that's the thing, is that the line is just so blurred. That's what makes it so scary to me, is that it's one of those things where it's like some person who's just like, I just like talking to this in my apartment. And they kind of do all the same similar shit, but then at the other end of the spectrum, it's like a person putting their ass out. And it's like, I can delineate those there, but then sometimes you see them interact, you see them do things, and you're like, it's very similar. Life.
It's very gross. Like, the chick in the first video that was 20 but 5, does she pretend to be 5 when they have sex? Because if she does, that's a problem.
It's not black and white. DDLG, Daddy Doll with a little girl from WeTV. Also, first off, I just want to give a shout out to the channel we're watching here, Truly. They're truly making horrendous content. I just had a panic attack.
Ew.
That's what horrendous content.
I'm her daddy. I'm her dad. No. Streamlabs.com/blindpress.
I just had a panic attack. That's what that is.
I'm
It's such a
having a
leap
panic
where it's
attack
like,
too.
you could just do all that stuff without being the baby. Look at him watching her. He's like, that's my girl. Oh, change an adult woman's diaper on like cheap industrial carpet makes me so sick to my stomach.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? Why did you put this in my fucking video queue? Oh my God.
Also, he has a glass of water and what is... Oh, man, what a mouthfeel. A glass of water or white wine, I can't tell, that looks yellow. Fucking menthol cigarettes, and what in God's name is this? Is this oats?
まあ確かに奴は教えねえよな。大事なことは特に。
But when Michelle misbehaves, there are repercussions.
Oh no. There are repercussions.
It'd be so funny. There are repercussions. He comes in. What the fuck are you doing? Has like a belt, slaps the wall. Get your ass out of here! Behavior chart. Look at this fucking crazy. My grandma, who was dying, had a whiteboard just like this to make sure that she was taking all of her medicine before she was dying. This is when she was dying and hallucinating, seeing angels. Okay?
That's sad.
Wow.
Pretty serious.
That's sad. Hunter.
Any questions?
For this pair, the daddy-dom little girl relationship is strictly non-sexual.
Bullshit! Bullshit! I call bullshit.
My mind, they're separate things. Like, sex is for adults. It's always for adults. It's not you're not supposed to sexualize, you know, things that are childlike.
You know what? It might be a 2.
Here's where I noped out. We're 8 minutes into the 12-minute video. We can do this.
Hard on this, Nick.
Are you?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
What did she say?
She was just like, you know, it's easy for people to be like, make up all kinds of crazy things, but ours is non-sexual. And if it is, it's your cup of tea, then it's your thing, whatever.
Weirdos.
This is the most... A guy with a cutoff, tatted to hell, looking at his phone. He's just like, God, I have to watch this fucking kid. It'd be so funny if there was like a role play, and the guy's just kind of like a put out single dad, and he's like really harboring a lot of like resentment because of the divorce. Yeah, I don't pay for your child support for you to come here with this. And it's like nothing remotely cute or just like, Daddy, this. He's just like, don't fucking call me that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't call me daddy. I don't love you. I don't love you anymore. I'm not your daddy.
Other rule is I can't say the F word. That's bad.
What's my name?
Oh, yes, and the last
No, I don't like
rule
that.
have-
I don't like how he whispered, what's my name? She definitely...
Oh, this is definitely sexual. Oh, Lord.
Seems the least like toddlerish. Like, I think it's just kind of like maybe it feels like a gimmick kind of. I'm like, you're kind of halfway into it. Look, she breaks and she laughs there. I like how he's just like, wait, what the fuck did you just say? Hold up. Where's your mom? So how big's your mom's new husband? Is he like 6'2"?
Is he handsome? Does he have muscles?
I could probably say, you think I could take him still? I want to see that.
Oh, yes, and the last rule I have is I'm supposed to call him Daddy. His name is Daddy at all times.
Oh. But that's not sexual, right? Right? Daddy-daughter play is gross. It absolutely is. It is just not okay.
Oh yeah, my last rule is I have to be called Daddy, and he like, looks at the camera like, it just says on my driver's license. You know, it's weird though, and I will say this, and I could be wrong. I'm not a psychological expert, but I will say that when you say that it's non-sexual, but you're kissing somebody in that romantic way.
Yeah, how can you say that's not sexual when you're doing that? That's like inherently sexual. That is absolutely inherently a sexual thing.
You're still associated. Like I just think that you're doing a little Texas two-step on the line of like, we're not being weird. Ooh, he like danced back. I don't trust it, dude. Look at this last link and then just kind of childhood dreams. I don't like this already.
Today I'm unboxing a package from Diaper Minister. I ordered this last week because they brought out their new diapers.
Have you seen this?
I can't wait to open this up. So,
why is he unboxing diapers but sounding like so fucking happy? Like, oh my god, I got some new diapers. Holy shit. I'm so excited. Oh my lord.
Can you hear it in my headphones? Come here real quick.
it really looked like an actual baby diaper. And then I saw...
Sounds like the Luffy actor.
It sounds like the One Piece actor. I'm Monkey D. Luffy. So he's definitely doing a voice, like a kid's voice.
It really looked like an actual baby diaper. And then I saw that they came out last week.
Dude, blink once, please.
What, is he like this into the camera? Just like, and then I saw that they had diapers that I could wear, and they look just like baby diapers. Ha ha ha.
This is totally normal. I'm unboxing his diapers for you. Just 4 hours of him not moving. People like in the background, like, you know, like doing all their stuff, and he's just like 4 hours.
So I will be opening up and reviewing these diapers for you guys.
Okay, I'm not gonna actually watch you do this. Whatever. Dude, listen. At the end of the day, I don't know. You tell me one thing, I'm like, I don't blame you. If you're like, I just like shitting in diapers and I like pretending I'm 5. All right. There it is. But
Yeah,
there is something
totally
weird.
not
It's like all those people are like, it's not sexual. Oh my. There has to be.
Yeah, there's so fucking there's you can't tell me it's not sexual. You can't fucking sit there and be like, no, it's completely normal and I like to do this. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't. No! Fucking no! I just. No. Hello? Thank you.
No, it's not vodka.
So question period was all the backbenchers today.
Oh, so fuck it.
I went through it. I skimmed through it. And I don't understand why the Bloc Québécois are saying that they're gonna prop up the government, because they're sitting there hammering them on very important things.
Because they're all full of shit.
So this is either gonna be a strategy, like where they're gonna say, yes, we are going to, we are going to do it. We are going to prop up the government, but then turning around and not propping up the government. I don't know if that's something that's gonna happen, or if they actually are going to prop up the government. But this is just, I don't know. It's just, it's a strange strategy. We're gonna see the Conservatives put out a non-confidence motion sometime next week. And then we'll see what happens. Now, I want to see what else we can watch here. And then we might switch over to gaming.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about, book updates, stuff like that.
Yeah. I've finished the book. So I've got the book finished. I'm trying to push for at least the $2,000 mark on the GoFundMe, because if I get to there, then I can push for the publishing, and then I can start distributing the bookmarks and everything like that to the people that donate in the GoFundMe. I actually will go and I will put the link to the GoFundMe in the chat right now.
The nice thing about the publisher, don't forget you have to mention this, you're not using an online system, you're using a local Canadian publisher.
Yes.
That is recommended. Okay, it's honey, you don't understand. You're using one of the biggest publishers in Canada, but you're backdooring it into them using their primary company.
Yeah.
Okay? The publisher that you're going through is a local Canadian publisher, but they're massive. They're one of the biggest publishers in Canada. Okay? The fact that we can get into the door with this is why we need it. But I don't want just one person donating. We need to figure out how to expand this into like where you can deal and talk to book people.
Right.
Like, you can't just talk to me. You can't just talk to the people in chat. You gotta figure out how you're gonna market this shit.
Right.
Part of the funding, here's the funny part. Part of the funding goes to marketing.
Right.
Because this publisher's actually doing the full marketing too.
Right.
And the campaign.
And the other shitty part is that every place I go to look to like put like the GoFundMe page, it's like, especially in like the self-publishing stuff and on Reddit and whatever, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to put up GoFundMes. And you can't link to your link to the GoFundMe on your own page because these people are all... Reddit is a cesspool worse than Twitter.
Yeah. And then all the Facebook pages that are promote your GoFundMe are full of fucking scammers that want you to pay them to promote your GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do I market this?
Just like I say about all of it, you're not meant to.
No.
That's the problem. Nobody can get into media. You have to already be in media. This is my whole theory about YouTube as well.
Right.
I hope that isn't something buried in that.
But it's like, I just want to get my novel about a blind serial killer out there. And then I want to be able to start on the new one because I actually have an outline for it. But I can't do anything until I push the, like, until I get funding.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating.
Oh, here we go. You heard about the Hezbollah pagers, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan just put out some further thoughts on this Hezbollah pagers thing.
Okay.
How about we watch some disinformationing? How about that?
Okay.
No?
Yeah, okay. We lost 2 people.
Yes, because because you said the word gaming.
No, I said the word GoFundMe.
I don't know. And besides, this isn't for anything. This is actually for publishing. This is what you do. The problem is, like I said, you need to find forums. You need to find these places to do this. But you also need to do it where you're not giving away, you're not spoiling the book.
Well, that's the other thing. And people are like, you need beta readers. How the fuck do I find a beta reader without getting my shit stolen?
Hey, did you ever hear about the LSD-laden sex dolphins?
No.
You didn't know that NASA once gave dolphins LSD?
Oh, wait. I think you might have...
What?
Why does this sound familiar, but also that I can't remember the details?
No, it's King Trout talking about LSD and shit. Just thinking. But no, keep going.
No, I'm just frustrated because, like, I finished the book. I went through it yesterday. And, like, actually looked at, like, just had the computer read some of it to me. And it actually sounds, like, good. Like, I'm not just reading it as something that I read. Like, and I can't...
Well, it's just the way it goes. You're not the only one, though. You know what the #1 complaint I've found from authors is? They can't get their shit out there. They can't get their work out there. They can't get funding for their work. There's all sorts... there's all sorts of these weird little quirks that people don't realize.
And then I've got fucking...
Oh, you remember the Galaxy Gas shit I told you about?
Yes.
Here's CoffeeZilla talking about it.
But then I've got fucking family friends coming to me, shitting on me for trying to get funding.
First of all, that guy's a piece of shit. Okay? The guy literally said, "Send me your book.
Yeah.
I will publish it."
Yeah, send me your book and I'll pass it to my publisher and maybe.
But what did I do? What did I do?
You talked to your...
No. What did I do about that guy? I looked him up, right? I looked up his shit, right?
Yeah.
No sales, no publisher. He's using Penguin, if anything.
Yeah.
And it's the self-submission side, and he has no copies sold. So I'm not playing that game. I've already said that 100 times.
No, it was just frustrating.
It is, but there's nothing. You can't cry about it, right? Like, you can't get so upset about it because these people just don't fucking get it. There's so much to all of this that, like, just found out. So, how do I explain this? Oh, it's like having a communist for a driver. Okay. And not like your typical, I'm from Russia. I'm talking like your typical psychotic lefty.
Yeah.
Like not like full regressive lefty. Basically saying, I sit in my car, deliver envelopes, refuse to do loads based upon my conscientious objections.
Right.
But you think you work harder in the office doing all of this than I do.
Right.
I should not have to be. I should be paid more because I work hard. I work harder driving and walking 10 feet than you do working 17 hours a day to keep the business afloat.
That's bullshit.
That's what I got told today. That's what he said today.
That is bullshit.
That was out of his fucking mouth. Right as I'm driving past a giant trans fucking Alphabet Club protest in front of Kitchener City Hall.
Of course.
With get this, as I'm going by. What's that sound? Somebody pulled the fire alarm.
Of course they did.
Because they're peaceful. Not even peaceful. But yeah. So I got you one. You got one in there now. You've got one in the chamber.
Okie dokie. Let's switch over here and open a thingy.
Oh, did you hear Nintendo's actually suing?
Suing who?
Nintendo's actually suing Power World now. They created a patent called the point and aim mechanic.
Okay.
And they're trying to sue Power World over that mechanic.
That's retarded.
Because otherwise, okay, so go after literally everybody that's point and shoot. Now. It's fucking dumb. But yeah.
That's retarded.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's very, very bad.
Investigating the worst TikTok trend, huh?
Yeah. How to enjoy cannibalism legally. Ooh. Do you remember Dawn of the Dead?
Huh?
Do you remember the movie Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
We loved it, right? We have it still, right?
I think so.
Except is that Dawn or is that Land? No, that's Dawn. Was CJ right about it? Yeah, I think he was. Alright.
Time is your friend in the publishing world. It's as for the sound of it. Yeah, except I don't have time.
Gotta get it out while the blind trend is still going.
Yep.
We gotta get it out. We gotta get it out and on the road while the blind trend is going before they switch over to another version like the legless or something. Like no. Till they go back to wheelchairs.
Deaf.
Deaf. You
It's
think
gonna
they're
go
gonna
back.
cycle back
It's
to
gonna
deaf?
go back to deaf.
I don't
It
know.
always goes back to deaf.
Well, okay,
always.
so we've got well, no, they haven't done wheelchairs in a while, so maybe they'll cycle back. No offense, Spittle. They'll cycle back to wheelchairs. You know this cycle. If you're disabled, you know the cycle we're talking about. This weird, every year there's a different disabled trend that is like, we have to support this one this year, and this year, for some reason, it's the blind. I wonder why. Fucking beastie.
Okay. Let's figure what this trend is.
Welcome back. Today we're breaking down Galaxy Gas. Who's behind it? Is it bad? Is it really just for food? And am I in my old man arc? Because today we're complaining about a TikTok trend, okay? A dangerous trend. No, the answer is no. I'm very cool, still very hip, still very with it, okay? But I did want to talk about nitrous oxide today, a.k.a. laughing gas, a.k.a.
Because, these people are stupid and think they've invented a new thing. Like check fraud.
A.k.a. Whippets, a.k.a. doing a Kanye. Look, it's kind of an old thing, and that's kind of become a new thing because we've Americanized this small little canister that used to, you used to get this little cartridge thing, and people would inhale it and get high. You get it at the dentist sometimes.
Yep.
Now we've turned it into a flavored a flavored giant canister that kids are walking around school and doing in their classroom.
Of course. Fucking of course. Because why would we not do that, right? Like, why not? The power is in my big wheels. Hey, well, the blind serial killer's love interest is in a wheelchair.
God damn, what the f***?
Now, it's not just
my
the
God.
youth that are on this. It's also mainstream celebrities.
fucking
Like
stupid.
Kanye West was recently exposed for being addicted to nitrous oxide. I say exposed, but he also posted this video.
Ryan Garcia, this I'm on the nitrous.
So I don't know.
This is, I'm on the nitrous. Yeah, because that's something you want to admit to, being on the nitrous.
How much you can expose somebody who's just posting that. But rappers everywhere are sort of also getting into this. In fact, Adam22, who does a podcast kind of covering some of this stuff recently, released a video 4 years ago talking about this drug is taking over the rap game. Even back then, it was becoming more popular. Here's kind of what he said about it.
Now, it all seems like fun and games at first, right? Like laughing gas can't be so bad. But in the long term is when you really start to see the nasty side effects kick in.
Funny enough, if you fast forward 4 years to today, he was on his podcast recently and did whippets on his own podcast, which I thought was weird for someone who's like, yeah, this is bad. It's going to ruin your brain.
Yeah, why would you put out, like, did he forget he made that video? Or did he think, I'm only going to do this once? Like, I don't get it.
All right, let's go.
You better blur my ass so bad, Michael.
All right, now you Adam 22 now.
Yeah, I overdid it. I did it too fast. What the?
You Adam.
How the f am I letting him do this?
You Adam.
But it's not just the kids and.
What is the point in doing this? Like, am I just boring because I like weed and that's it? Like, is that it? Am I just boring? It started with Cool Whip in a can. Yes, it did.
Oh yeah, whippets.
But seriously, am I just boring because I like weed and that's it?
Honestly, they were more fun on shrooms.
Because shrooms are fun. Well, they are.
There you go.
But see, like, why do we have to do this shit?
Kids and rappers, even Joe Rogan's podcast has seen some of this
Joe
stuff.
Rogan.
Ari Shafir, a comedian, recently did whippets live on the show.
What is that? You spazzing, throwing shit.
What do you got, whippets?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
you sick.
You whippets? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Let's go. Might not be
Is this
blown up
legal?
enough.
Is this legal, says Joe? Oh yeah, it's totally, because you cared about it. You care about that because you were smoking weed on your podcast only while it was legal, right, Joe? You were, and you talk about ayahuasca a lot, which that's very legal too, isn't it, Joe?
No.
Yes, like you get them at head shops.
No.
No? You're going to forget how to play pool.
Okay, do whippets kill brain cells?
Okay, so
Yes.
then he's taking whippets while Joe Rogan's reading. Do they kill brain cells? Yes or no? Answer actually is a yes. But if you heard in the background, they kind of say, is this legal? And then somebody's like, no. And somebody else says, well, no, they just sell them in like head shops everywhere. And that's part of the problem, is that while nitrous oxide is supposed to be just for,
I miss meth when it was in a prescription or a Thin Mint. That's funny.
dental, like as a drug to be consumed by people.
I have never had nitrous. Not once. Never had nitrous. I've heard of women getting it while they're giving birth. I did not get it, probably because I already had an epidural. But yeah, I did not get nitrous I've never had it at the dentist. Anything like that. I've never had it.
Is supposed to be controlled. At the same time, there's also this kind of loophole where it technically...
What?
It has a quick onset after it is inhaled and leaves the system quickly once it is discontinued. Nitrous oxide will not eliminate pain, but it can dull pain and lessen anxiety. It's a good option for women who are prone to anxiety or want the ability to move around during labor. It's not for pain.
That's why I didn't get it. Because I wasn't having panic attacks or anything. I was just going, ow!
Technically can be sold for culinary purposes, where it's sold for like whipped cream, because to use a whipped cream canister, you need a little bit of nitrous in order to make it like fluffy. But it's not going to make you high because you're not actually ingesting the stuff.
What? Okay.
So the loophole that has been figured out by these companies is that you can sell these canisters as chargers for whipped cream. And this brings us to Galaxy Gas.
And so they're selling them as chargers for whipped cream, which is legal. And then people who aren't cooks are buying them, and okay.
This is currently the most popular way to abuse nitrous oxide, and if you go to their website, they say that it's intended solely as a food processing propellant.
Right.
For whipped cream and culinary use only. And you say yes. And then they have recipes for how to use their product. And then you can see all their different stuff here.
So does that mean, is that why they've got like different flavors? I'm guessing.
However, this is just a cover story. And part of the reason I'm doing this is it pissed me off the way people credulously cover this stuff where they go, people are misusing Galaxy Gas. It's actually intended as a food product.
So it's supposed to take your desserts to the next level, but using it the wrong way is leaving people high.
It's not a food product. The creators know it's not a food product. This is just how they get around the law, right?
Okay. So they have different flavor.
They use the scents and the flavors because you use the nitrous oxide to infuse. You can use it to infuse as well for the whipped cream.
Okay.
It gives a better flavor for it.
Okay.
I don't agree with it, but that's whipped cream though. We want whipped cream. You want whipped cream. That's how you get it.
Yeah.
Teens are getting a hold of Galaxy Gas and similar products following a dangerous trend on, of course, all places, social media. And while it has many legitimate uses, it also creates a brief but potentially deadly high.
It's the only place that has discovered fucking whippets.
The way you cover loopholes like this isn't going like, oh, it's being, it was intended for this, but it's being misused. No, it was always intended to be abused. So I saw this video is kind of the reason I'm covering all of this. This video says the guy who invented Galaxy Gas, and it says he has no idea at the bottom, as if he thought this was going, and then, by the way, this is not the creator of Galaxy Gas, but this video was created, and it's an old commercial that got saved, and it's of them talking about the food, like the food aspect of all of this. And people just believe this stuff.
Galaxy Gas? Well, you probably already know. But really, we're the best thing that's ever happened to your kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Because Galaxy Gas is the purest culinary nitrous in the galaxy. Why start your morning off with that boring Keurig coffee when you can just as easily whip yourself up a nitro cold? We got 8 amazing flavors for you to chef up whatever your heart desires.
Wow. This is... They know for sure. They know for sure this is not being used for just cooking.
So if the bad acting wasn't sort of already a dead giveaway, there's even more proof that this is just a silly cover-up. Now, albeit they're going through with the bit because they create little recipes. Even if you go to their website, they have like all their YouTube videos are them like creating little recipes with their thing. Like, so they're really committing to the idea that, oh, we really believe everyone's using this to chef.
They really want you to know that they think it's for food.
Stuff up. But there's an easy way you know this is not true. And that's because if you were to actually use these canisters for their intended purpose of whipped cream, it's way too much. Like, you only need a tiny amount of nitrous to fill an entire whipped cream can. And so this report at Fox 8 Local did a good job of breaking this down.
All my kids were free of... See, I never ever I couldn't have done the birth without an epidural. I just no. I'm a big
of whipped
bitch.
cream per container. Now a can like this typically takes about 6.5 grams of nitrous oxide to make. Compare that to this tank with 2,000 grams of nitrous oxide. If you portion things out similarly, you can make approximately 22,792 servings of whipped cream with that strawberry watermelon nitrous alone.
It's
strawberry watermelon nitrous, huh? That's so yeah, they've probably got like vanilla and chocolate and like all sorts of flavors.
Preposterous once you actually learn how much whipped cream this stuff could make. To think that anyone in their right mind would be using it for this. And obviously the creators of the product who are portioning it out know that fact. The reason they're selling something that could make 22,000.
Yeah. That's like a freaking, like, a weekend's worth of dessert catering. Like, or I don't know, like maybe you're an industrial baker or something. I don't know.
1,000 servings of whipped cream, which no normal person needs, is because they know nobody's using it actually for culinary purposes. No. The other thing is a lot of these products are not sold by a culinary place. It's sold by like vape shops. In fact, if you remember the guy who supposedly created...
You can buy this shit at a vape shop? Jesus. And they probably know that too.
Galaxy Gas. I'll show you them again. That's the buddy, and this is the other guy. This guy who did not invent it, but supposedly invented it. Turns out you can find him as the promoter of something called Cloud9 Smoke Co., where he is making promotional videos for a vape shop.
Cloud9, is that for marijuana vape?
Where he is making promotional videos for a vape shop.
The vape in my pocket is the Grello bar in the red apple frozen flavor. It tastes amazing, and of course this bar has the juice indicator.
So obviously...
No, it's nicotine. Never mind. Never mind.
This guy is not moonlighting as a chef. This is just a cover story to sell an illegal high, an otherwise illegal high. Now, I want to be clear. I don't believe that's the guy behind all of this. People have been wondering for a while, who is behind Galaxy Gas? Who are these guys? Because nowadays, first of all, nobody's really in front of the product anymore. No. They shoot most of their videos from the head up, and they cover their sleeves. So it's hard to know. It's clear that they're trying to kind of cover their tracks. But we have a hint from an old magazine that they forgot to scrub off the internet. This is a feature in a vape shop magazine. It says, hitting new highs financially. Here you can see the first mention of the founders, what I believe to be the founders. It says there are brothers Amor, Sammy, Ben, and Kareem. They run something called SBK International, and they're the owners of Cloud9 in Georgia.
Oh, look at that. A clue, Sherlock.
So the company that guy was promoting, they own it. Sam, Ben, and Kareem Amor. We know this is true because if you go to the state of Georgia, you can find that the guy on file for Galaxy Gas LLC is Khalil Amor. And the same guy is CEO of SBK International with the same last name as those brothers.
Well then, isn't that wrapped up in a neat little package?
Again, we can also find in a complaint against Cloud9 and SBK, we also see Khalil Amor, Ben Salim Amor, and Sammy Amor all named.
Oh, very interesting.
I think these are the guys behind it. They don't want to be on the front of their culinary nitrous organization for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I wonder why these guys don't want to be the faces behind their quote culinary gas.
But they are seemingly the guys behind it. At least they're registered as the guys behind it, especially Khalil Amor. Now, it's also worth saying that because this has gotten so popular and so many people are doing it in schools, as well as...
See, how are they even allowed to be doing this in schools? How can the teachers not just, like, call that similar to vaping? That I don't understand.
It's just culturally, it's kind of nitrous is having another moment because of these supersized canisters of nitrous. It is also being looked at by regulators very closely, and I think probably will get shut down or be meaningfully kind of watched. In fact, Galaxy Gas, a lot of people haven't seen this, recently terminated their Georgia entity.
Interesting.
So in just a few days ago, a couple weeks ago, they terminated their company under Georgia law. Additionally, you used to be able to buy their products on Amazon, crazy enough, and now they're unavailable. So
good.
Are they going under? Are they trying to hide? It's unknown. But what's clear is that all eyes are on these guys, and they're definitely being watched. Now, do I think that's going to be the end of this epidemic?
Oh, for sure, no.
No, because there are so
Absolutely
many copycat products and similar people trying to make money on a similar idea.
And that's the scary thing, because, like, how long till somebody dies from inhaling knockoff nitrous oxide?
But I want to be clear, all of them use the same stupid loophole of like, ooh, we're just wanting to sell whipped cream flavored chargers. But you know it's not true because of the size of the thing that they sell and where they sell these things. In fact, while looking at this video, even though Galaxy Gas is unavailable, you can get a similar size tank for nitrous oxide. You can get 24 of them, which would do about 500,000 servings of whipped cream.
Jesus Christ!
Directly from Amazon. You can get...
What the fuck? 24 of them direct from Amazon. Who needs that many canisters of nitrous?
It shipped to your door. Free delivery. So, anytime you see this stuff, please do not report like, oh, people are misusing it for the purpose. No, it was always intended to be misused. It was always intended as a way to get people high. It was just a loophole that these scumbags were doing to make money from you losing brain cells or people you love losing brain cells. So, yeah, I just wanted to cover that. I just thought I've seen a lot of people report on this, and everybody seems to be smoke screened by this food intention. And I just wanted to be clear about, like, who's behind this stuff, what's actually going on, and where I think it's going, which is, like, it's probably hit its cultural moment, and I think probably regulators are going to crack down at this point.
I hope so. I really, really hope so. Because that's just misusing something like that. We don't need that. We don't need any more fucking drugs. We don't need any more misusing of things that are going to that we should be using for food that aren't used for food. Like, we don't need this. Fake pandas. Fake pandas. What the fuck is that about? What is a fake panda? I don't. I'm confused. What is a fake panda? Let's find out.
Fake pandas. I never thought we'd see the day. And what's crazy is it's not even the first time this has happened recently. So I imagine some of you have probably seen this floating around because the story's gained a lot of steam. There is a zoo in China that has painted some chow chows to look like pandas to try.
Oh my god, really?
And give visitors the sense that there's pandas there, even though it's just painted dogs.
That's hilarious! Fucking painted chow chows. Oh my lord.
It was the perfect plan. They're nearly indistinguishable from real pandas, at least until they started panting and barking. Then it became clear it's not pandas. Now, the zoo is insisting, or at least they were, that they were rare panda dogs, which obviously isn't a real thing that doesn't exist. A unicorn is more likely to exist than a fucking
Oh, they're so cute.
fucking panda dog. I don't know why they thought they'd be able to pull that fast one over on anyone. And eventually they just folded saying, yeah, we just painted some chow chows to look like pandas. And what's crazy is they're not the only zoo to do this. It actually happened pretty recently as well at a different zoo.
The latest exhibit at this zoo in eastern China had visitors doing a double take. These pandas are really chow chow puppies.
What the fuck? Why? Why do that? What's the point?
Advertised as panda dogs, and social media
Panda
can't
dogs?
get enough of them.
Seriously, advertised as panda dogs. Like they bred a dog with a panda.
And there's a resemblance to the rare giant panda. Sort of. But some zoogoers in China aren't happy about what they call a deception. According to Chinese state media, the zoo said it dyed the dogs black and white because they didn't have any pandas.
Then don't advertise that you have pandas, and you won't have to be like, shit, we don't have any pandas. What do we do?
A worker insisted visitors are not being misled, and that the fuzzy chow chows are accurately described as dogs.
Not really, though. They're not panda dogs. They're chow chows that you've painted. That's like if I took a piece of my poop and colored it to look like a strawberry and then called it a strawberry. It doesn't make it a strawberry.
It's a strawberry poop.
Maybe it resembles one, kind of, but it's still wrong to call it a strawberry. They are chow chows. They are not panda dogs. There's no such thing. It is misleading and a deception.
Could you imagine? Yeah, we're the first zoo to ever have this panda dog. Well, why aren't you internationally like in the news? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Aren't they cute? Look, they're panda dogs. Shut up.
That's why you did it, to try and fool people into thinking you have like some panda cubs, even though they're just puppies. It's so silly. And it's not really like a good excuse or a good justification that you don't have any pandas, so this was the next best thing. Just don't fucking pretend you have pandas. Just say like, hey, we don't have any here.
Don't.
You know, like this is just a dishonest way of trying to.
Just sorry, we don't have pandas.
Have your cake and eat it too. You don't have pandas, but you're pretending you have something comparable with these panda dogs. It is a
That's one bad strawberry. Let's say it's a shitty thing.
deception. That's the whole point of it. It's also just super scummy and shady to do this. A whole point of a zoo is supposed to be educational and for conservation. This, you have just taken domesticated animals and painted them to be something that they're not, and are trying to like parade them around like that. It's very weird. Now, a lot of people in both of these cases has pointed out that it's kind of cruel to do this to dogs, to dye their fur like that, because it's
It is cruel to the dog. Why would you do that to the poor thing?
bad for them. The zoo defended themselves by saying people dye their hair all the time, thus dogs can, and it's fine.
Except hair and fur are two very different things.
I'm not knowledgeable enough on the subject. From the little bits of research I've done, at the very least, most places seem to agree that it's not the best for dogs' skin and fur to dye it different colors. But I feel like everyone should be able to agree that zoos doing this is very fucking stupid. Like, it is against what zoos are supposed to be about in the first place. It runs counter to the whole idea of, like, the purpose of a zoo. To paint chow chows and call them rare panda dogs. It's such a weird fucking lie to tell.
Are they pogs? Are they dandas?
It's not like these zoos were gonna go bankrupt if they didn't have pandas.
Right.
Like, I know pandas are a huge draw to zoos in China, but it's not like every zoo that doesn't have them is forsaken, like a barren wasteland, so they had to just come up with this panda dog scheme.
Yeah, the zoos just echo in the emptiness. without pandas.
Kind of reminds me of that old skit. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Ham and Witch. Nope, that's definitely not what it was. It was Hamish and Andy. I'm sorry I fucked that name up so badly. It's been a while since I've seen this, but they dressed in gorilla costumes. They went to a zoo in the exhibit, and they were doing things like playing with remote control cars and riding a bike and shit like that. And zoogoers were convinced, like, holy shit, we're watching some of the most intelligent gorillas we've ever fucking seen.
That's hilarious.
You know, like, it's kind of the same idea here, but with these zoos doing it unironically, not as a comedy sketch.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually happened. That's funny. That's very, very amusing.
But yeah, pretty fucking weird thing to lie about. Also, I saw another story today that I've got to talk about as well. It's another weird one. I don't know if this is the first time this has happened, but it's definitely the first time I've seen it. A robot just arrested somebody.
Oh, what?
Kind of. It's not what you're picturing. Like, I bet you're imagining, you know, Chappie rolled up and put someone's hands behind their back while reading the Miranda rights. Not quite that. It's kind of like a battle bot mounting somebody.
Oh my god. Okay.
Which led officers to arresting them. So the reason Tony Stark's little helper is here in the first place is because the suspect inside had fired some shots. One of them was aimed at officers. They eventually called in this bomb squad robot, who approaches the door ready to trick or treat with some tear gas, but the guy inside opens the door with a peekaboo maneuver and throws a bed sheet over it to try and stop the tear gas from deploying.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Standoff where multiple shots were fired and one person was injured.
39-year-old Felix De La Rosa was wanted for a parole violation. That's why officers tracked him to the hotel. But when he fired shots, they called in the Lubbock County SWAT team. At one point, we saw and heard him fire at a...
Spittlebuggy says, they may have been bred to be black and white too if they were even close to honest. Yeah, I know, you can have black and white. Chow chow.
Bomb squad robot. Take a listen.
The bed sheet didn't disable Wally. Instead, it just kept pushing forward, trying to get that tear gas inside. So the guy leaned out the window and shot it. So he puts a bullet in it, which also doesn't stop him. He just eats that bullet. This robot looks like something I would have made out of Connects when I was like 12 years old. Honestly, it seems like less of a robot and more of a remote-controlled whatchamahoosit. This thing
A remote-controlled whatchamahoosit. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's-its and what's-its galore.
Dissimilar from what NASA's been sending to Mars, except this one, instead of like looking for extraterrestrial life, it's just looking for new ways to whoop some ass.
It sprayed tear gas into De La Rosa's hotel room. Initially, De La Rosa tried to fight the robot, even throwing sheets and what looked like towels at it, but that didn't stop the robot from deploying gas. We watched as De La Rosa crawled out of that window and onto the ground where the robot pinned him until officers took him into custody.
Could you imagine it being pinned by an actual robot? That's crazy. That is some Skynet shit.
No one could have ever expected that robot was trained in Krav Maga. That was textbook takedown right there. I love that it's like holding the blinds gently as it like deploys tear gas, and then it sees its opportunity. It doesn't even let go of the blinds. It just turns around with the blinds, ripping the shit out of him while it climbs on top of the guy, literally mounting him like a World of Warcraft mount. In total, I think the standoff lasted something like 2 hours, and there were moments where he would come outside and like wave a Bible around before going back in.
You can't hurt me, I have a Bible!
It was very odd, and one thing the Bible doesn't talk about is machines. And I'll tell you what, the machines are taking over. Now they can pin people down for arrests? Holy shit. I knew bomb squad robots were a thing, they have been for a long time, but I didn't know they were capable of like deploying tear gas and like taking down suspects.
Yeah, that's scary. That's some scary shit. I don't think I like that.
We're getting into the deep future now. I don't think RoboCop's too far away. I don't know how common it is for bots to be used in situations like this, but I guess I'll just keep my eye on it to see if this happens more frequently in the next couple of years or not. Anyway, though, I just wanted to talk about these two stories I looked at earlier today. That's really about it. So, yep.
You must be from back east, lol. It rolled him up great like. What did I say that makes me from back east, Spittle? What did I say? Okay. Where are we here? Oh! Further thoughts on... Okay. Oh my god. How long is this?
I wanted to talk a little more about...
No, I have one left. I already watched the other one that you sent me. The Hillary Clinton one? Yeah. The Ryan McBeth one? Yeah. That's what I'm about to do. What? That's what I'm about to do. Okay. So, my further thoughts on Hezbollah pagers. Let's take a listen.
I wanted to talk a little more about the Team Yellow pager attack now that a little more info has come out about it. Typically, when any of this happens, you want to use ICD-203, which is what people in the intelligence community use to evaluate probability. Now, when you're looking at intel stuff, you always have to think horses not to this happen.
What the fuck does that mean?
Value happens, you want to use ICD-203, which is what people in the intelligence community use to evaluate probability. Now, when you're looking at intel stuff, you always have to think horses, not zebras. I'm in New Mexico right now doing drone testing with the
Oh, is that what that fucking sound is?
Aeromed Lab. If I heard a horse behind me, or if I heard hoofbeats behind me, I would think it was a horse, not a zebra. But I have been working 16-hour days doing that thing up there, so I really haven't been able to give this story my full attention. So when this whole thing first started, I doubt that the cause of this was explosives, at least not in the traditional way that we think of explosives.
So for those of you who are going, what the fuck is this talking about? This is the pagers that were blowing up in Lebanon. We're all members of Hezbollah. And Ryan McBeth is giving us more thoughts on that.
A lot of people said that Israel intercepted the pagers and put explosives in them, and that didn't smell right to me for a number of reasons I'm going to get into. In fact, I even said the pagers were the explosive. So you usually want to go with the most likely possibility when evaluating stuff. It looks like these pagers were basically licensed from a brand, a Taiwanese company called Gold Apollo. Okay. And then they were made under license by a Hungarian company called Back Consulting KFT.
All right. None of this, I don't understand any of this, so I'm... No? Okay, I was gonna say, you didn't say you didn't understand any of this. Okay. I'm sitting here listening to this, and this sounds like fucking gibberish.
Oh.
I don't understand why you're having me watch this.
He's just telling you. He's an intelligence expert.
I do, and that's why what he's saying
so
is...
He's talking about the news brief that came out regarding the pagers and how someone came out and said the pagers were packed with C4. Every pager, all 2,000, 3,000 pagers that exploded, each of them had a piece of C4 in them.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to an idiot. To the general public, it'll make perfect sense because they're like, well, how does it blow? Well, if you do certain things to a circuit with lithium batteries, you can make them go boom pretty easily. People don't realize how dangerous most of the technology that they carry in their pockets are. Mm-hmm. Cell phones are basically time bombs in your pocket. All it takes is a wrong drop and kaboom. That's the problem with lithium. Kill it if you want, but he makes sense. It's helpful.
Okay.
And apparently Israel discovered that Team Yellow wanted to order 5,000 pagers, so they set up a company to manufacture them. And then they did something to those pagers during the manufacturing process. I don't know what was done, there was certainly a software component to it. There was certainly a radio component to it. And there may have been an explosive component to it, but maybe not in the traditional way we think of explosives. So let's talk about the sheer size of the problem that you would encounter if you were trying to intercept and tamper with the pagers. Let's say you wanted to alter these pagers with 2 ounces or 56 grams of some kind of traditional nitrate-based explosive. Okay, well, first you need the explosive.
2 ounces of
some
56?
kind of traditional nitrate-based explosive. Okay, well, first you need the explosive.
Okay.
Then you need the detonator, and you need some way to connect all that to the pager. Now, if you want to do this to 1 pager or 5 pagers, I could see Israel intercepting that and changing a couple of pagers. But let's do 5,000 pagers. All those ounces add up.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very cost effective to me.
So now that's 625 pounds or 283 kilos.
Pagers, walkie-talkies, and reportedly fingerprint scanners.
Put this into perspective, a typical brick of C4 is 1.25 pounds. So
Okay.
right there, that's like 500 bricks of C4. That's a hell of a lot of explosives to smuggle into a foreign country.
That too. That's a lot of money, and it's a lot of how the fuck do I get? That is a lot of boom. How do you get that much boom into a foreign country?
So using ICD-203, what do you think the likelihood is that Israel smuggled 625 pounds of C4 or some sort of explosive into another country?
No.
Think about that, and you put that information on this chart. Now, you have to think about time. It's going to take time to alter all these pagers. So let's say it takes 5 minutes to open the pager, alter it, replace the packaging.
Okay.
Now,
Times
I don't know
5,000.
how long it would take to do that, but let's
That's
call it 5 minutes just so we have a
25,000
starting point for perspective. So it would take 25,000 minutes or 416 hours to alter all 5,000 pagers.
Okay.
So if you're doing that 24 hours a day with no sleep altering pagers, that would take you 17.63 days.
Jesus
now,
Christ. Okay.
naturally, this time can be reduced by adding more personnel like in an assembly line.
Yeah.
But there is a non-trivial amount of time that you would need to alter 5,000 pagers that you intercepted. So on ICD-203, what is the likelihood that Israel would dedicate that amount of personnel into some kind of tampering effort?
Not likely.
Put it on the chart. Now let's look at airplanes. These pagers were issued to Team Yellow as a communications device in the event that Team Yellow leaders needed to be contacted. All right, cool. So 5,000 some pagers, not a single one of these dudes ever got on an airplane. Not a single one.
Then how did that I don't understand. What does the airplane have to do with it?
You know, airports have a lot of ways of detecting explosives, not just X-rays where the software is used to make the explosives show up a different color. They also have explosive detectors in airports. If you've ever been stopped with the TSA and your fingers were swiped with a sampling stick, they're looking for explosives.
That makes sense. Okay,
Now, you
I
may
get
say
it.
that certain countries are more lax when it comes to airport security. Maybe. But eventually you have to come back, right? So if you're going to Europe to visit a relative, that theory of bad airport security goes out the window on the return trip.
Yeah.
So using ICD-203, what are the odds that of the thousands of Team Yellow members that got these pagers, none of them ever got on an airplane with their pager to go to Europe?
Not likely.
So what does this all mean? Well, I still don't think Israel used an explosive in the traditional sense of what we consider explosives. Like I said, the pager was the weapon. The pager was the explosive. Now, does that mean that something was done to the battery or some sort of compound was added to the battery or to the circuit board? Maybe. I mean, I could see making a capacitor on the board store a very high charge, and that was the explosive designed to take that charge and then detonate all at the same time. And
Could it be on like a time delay or like something where you've got it all remote so you can remotely detonate it?
that could have been added during the manufacturing process, and it looks like just like any other capacitor on the board. The only problem with the theory of putting an actual nitrate-based explosive inside of the pager is that if the pagers were sent to Lebanon through air cargo, they would have been x-rayed, maybe put through an explosive detector. If they were sent by boat, that's probably out the window. So using a traditional nitrate-based explosive, that's not totally outside the window yet, but kind of my bet here is something on the board, or you have some kind of capacitor that is charged and designed to be faulty or really designed to work perfectly on command when they get a certain radio message.
Okay. That makes the most sense to me.
So in conclusion, did Israel use an explosive? Well, they certainly used something that exploded, but was it an explosive in the traditional sense of what we know of as a traditional nitrate-based explosive? And to me, that evidence just isn't there. There's just too many ways a traditional nitrate-based explosive could be detected. But Israel certainly could have designed something on the pager, in the circuit board, or maybe even in the battery to have an explosive-like effect by using some other kind of material. And I think that is more likely than a traditional nitrate-based explosive. I have to get back to work. Thank you guys for watching.
Oh man, I'm so bored. That makes sense. That does make sense. I'm gonna do a subscribe here. Here we go. We have subscribed and we have liked. There we go. Okay. Alright, holy crap, we've gone to almost 3 hours. And I'm starving. Nope, he's wrong. The signal is actually passed along with a numbered diode. The signal relay was changed so the crystal would... Oh! During World War II, Americans gave China millions of pounds of explosives that, when mixed right, went boom, but on site looked like pancake mix. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. That is absolutely crazy to me. All right. What should we do now? We've been here for 3 hours. I need to go eat. But there's still people here. So let's see here. I think I'll wrap it up and go eat. And I'll be back tomorrow. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for the whole stream. You guys are awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go have something to eat.